Guys, listen up. As you get older, the best way to continue to look young, exuberant, and vibrant is to continue to take care of your skin. That's why I'm excited to have Tiege Hanley as a sponsor of today's video. You heard me talk about them before, and you're going to continue to hear me talk about them because I believe in their products and the positive impact that they have on every man's life. Tiege Hanley makes taking care of your skin so easy. They provide you with all the products you need and nothing that you don't. Every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. Lapeef family, I must admit, skincare wasn't always something I always focused on, but since I started using this system, I've seen improvements in the way my skin looks and feels. And you don't have to take my word for it. They have over 5,000 5-star reviews on their website from satisfied customers from around the world. I recommend you start with the level 1 system, which comes with all the basics: a daily face wash, an exfoliating scrub, an AM moisturizer, and a PM moisturizer. In addition to amazing skin, members of Tiege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off retail price, the ability to customize your box, pause or cancel at any time, and free US shipping. And because Tiege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers a great deal. Just click that first link in the description and you'll get 30% off the first box plus the free gift. Seriously, that's an amazing deal. Even though it's too early, as I often say, it's never too late. Click that link and get started today.
yeah. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Trigger Mike. Happy Monday to you. How y'all doing out here in these Houston streets and everywhere else in the nation? You're just tuning in. You're watching the Trigger Mike show on the greatest network on YouTube, which is the Lapeef Network. Thank y'all for coming through. It's been one hell of a day. Mondays, you know what? Let me not say that. Mondays do be Monday-ing, but today was not that bad. Other than the fact that they are chopping up the street out here where I live to extend the road out since they've built so many damn houses that they can't keep up with. So they don't want traffic on that main road where all the restaurants are and all, the churches and all that type of stuff and the shopping centers and Walmart. So they're extending that road out, which makes traffic really atrocious right about now in that area. But other than that, we good over here. Today was a good Monday. Let me know what's going on. My man said, turn my mic up. Got you. Got you. Oh, no. I'm not even using the right mic.
There we go. We good? Dang, my mic wasn't even working. How do I sound? How do I sound? Good? Yep. Bet. Appreciate that. One content creator to another, my man, looking out for me. Thank you for that, sir. All right, we're gonna get back to it. My man BMU is in the building. What's going on? And we understand there's no actual building, but it is a figure of speech, so bear with me. All right. What up to everybody? Salute to all the viewers. Make sure on your way in you like this stream. All right, like this stream. Go ahead and subscribe to the Lapeef Network if you have not. Tons of shows coming. We always got good content for you, new things on the way. I'm currently cooking up some stuff. I'm trying to do a game show. That's going to be pretty good. That's going to be pretty good. All right, so our main topic for today is something y'all have already maybe heard about. I'm gonna let some people trickle in before we start, but let me go ahead and send myself that video so we can watch it when it's time to do so. But how y'all doing, man? How y'all Monday going? Who is at work? That's what I want to know. Who is at work? Has Monday been good to you or what? And in addition to y'all joining the network and subscribing and liking the video, become a member of the Green Gang if you have not. I see people using my emojis in the chat. That makes me feel good. But in order to do that, you got to be a member of the Green Gang. So not only do I want you to subscribe and tell other people to subscribe to the Lapeef Network because it is the greatest network on YouTube, I want you to join for a very low fee. That's how you show your continued support for the Lapeef Network. And yeah, you get to use the emojis in the chat. Somebody from the Green Gang, show them what's up. Give them a bunch of trigger mic emojis so they know how to get down and how we get down on the best chat, in the best chat on YouTube. The chat is always lit on the Trigger Mike show and every other show on the Lapeef Network. In fact, what I'd like to brag about is that we have a very mature chat. The people that come here know that we get down to the bottom of stuff. Yeah, we say stuff that's triggering, but I think we got a lot of substantive dialogue that comes about on the Trigger Mike show. A lot of people that want to come up and not just give some kind of immature opinion. We got a lot of mature people coming up because we have a lot of mature topics, right? So we really getting down to the bottom of stuff. That is a fact in which I am very proud. All right, we just not talking smack over here, okay? We getting down to the bottom of it for real, for real. All right. We getting down to the bottom of it. So like, subscribe, become a member of the Green Gang if you can, and share this stream out to all of your friends at work, let them know what you're watching and tell them to put their earbuds in. All right. Because we do get a little hectic over here. All right. And once again, shout out to the sponsor, Tej Hanley, 30% off along with a free gift. The link is down in the description. That is our sponsor for this show. So please make sure you grab that uncomplicated skincare for men. That link, once again, is down in the description. We appreciate everybody who has purchased the product, and re-up if you need to. All right. This summer, brutal. I would say take your skincare regimen up a notch because this heat and everything, it has to be terrible. It has to be terrible for your skin. All right. So make sure you're keeping up on that. We appreciate the sponsors, Tej Hanley, for everything they do. Once again, that link is down in the description for you. All right. So if you would like to support the show, you may do so by form of super chat. We always appreciate any monetary support we can get on the show. If we answer a question or you like something I say or you want to have your response read aloud, I will be reading super chats, each and every single one of them. I try to keep up with them now. I'm not going to do the bulk. When they come through, I'm trying to get them within 5 minutes. All right. So we can get your response right when it matters. All right. So if we are going into some dialogue and you want your response read aloud, you feel like you have something pertinent and meaningful to add to the discussion, I will read your response aloud. We got mature people in the Trigger Mic chat, and I want you to show them how mature you are by giving us your response in the form of a super chat so we can read that aloud and keep the discussion going. We always thank you for that. And after the broadcast is over, if you'd like to support, get in those comments and talk to the people as well. We get people who like to support and leave super thanks in the comments after the show is over as well. All right, appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody's coming through. Who we got in the chat today? Jill's Chocolate Boutique, always in the building. What's going on? Oh, our anniversary isn't until the 16th of next month. But thank you. Thank you. The planning process is still commencing. It's still commencing. So good. My man Quincy in the building. Always appreciate that. Demetrius Carter. What's up? My man BMU, of course, with the sound check, troubleshooting for your boy. Thank you. Steve, how you doing? This should be good. This should be good. You might want to check your verbiage here, Jill. Everybody check this out. You might want to, never mind. Never mind. We're not going to do that. I just said we're mature here. Never mind. We're not going to do that. All right. It's August already. You know what? Bring these months on until we get to fall. Bring on a cooler climate, bro. Bring on that cooler climate. It's hell outside. I like something that the somebody that worked for the UN, I'm forgetting, not an ambassador, but somebody very important at the UN that works on the climate change initiative said we are no longer in global warming. Global warming was a warning that's about 30 years almost strong. Scientists, politicians, and climatologists, all that type of stuff, warning people that this was going to happen. They said 20 years ago was the period of global warming, giving the urgency out to do something about it, right? So we wouldn't have to end up in this stage we're in now. He said we are now in the stage of global boiling. And I don't know where you're at in the United States where you cannot feel that every prediction they made about that is true. Because it is boiling out there. I'm looking at videos of people's tires melting on their cars. I'm actually very afraid because I think this is going to have serious implications on our failing infrastructure. In the U.S., we already have a bad infrastructure, meaning we have not updated the roads. We have bridges that have missed inspection going on 15, 20 years, right? The heat is going to start to eat away at the concrete. And scary enough, I'm not wishing this, but I have a scientific mind. This is a mathematical and scientific certainty. This is not wishing bad on anything. You're going to start to see our infrastructure start to fail left and right. All right, Esh, what's going on? Thank you for coming through to the Trigger Mike Show. Kenny, what's up, my man? Anissa, how you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Anissa, I already know how she feels about this. My man BMU says he's at the bank closing out the month, but he's listening. Thank you for your support. Always appreciate that, brother. Marquise Keys, what's going on, Chief? That's 80s feel. What's up, my man? What's up? All right, let's get into it. Today's topic is, well, one of today's topics. I'm going to try to do current events more because there's a lot of juicy stuff happening, man. The world is content. It's just not what's on my mind. The world is content. I don't know if you know or you agree, but all this stuff going on in the world is content. I lied to you not. And we don't really make the content. We don't make this. Y'all make it. Y'all make it. My man, RP Tipsy Nomad says, Trigger Mike, the world is coming to an end, and I'm here with some popcorn watching the shit show. You know what? Let me refer to something John the Baptist said on, I have no idea what podcast it was, but it was a few days ago. It was a few days ago. He said that the world is coming to an end. And we are no longer in the stage of trying to push and force things on people. We need to just save as many souls because this is prophesied to happen. Y'all do know that, right? You save as many like-minded souls as you can onto your own cause, your own purpose. What that really means is that you find your tribe and you live your days out with them, because all these other people, they are gone. They are not even worth saving. Any kind of pushback, any kind of trouble they're giving you, and this includes family members. You save yourself. You save your family. You cannot save their soul anymore if they want to be corrupt. We're living in two worlds now. There are people that understand the importance of morals and values. And no, they're not perfect, but they understand the long-term implications on how their behavior affects their family and the general society. And they work together in unison to make sure that they are not negatively affecting that community and or society. And then there are the people that believe everything that they do happens in a vacuum and that their bad decisions don't affect anybody. And they can just sleep with whoever they want, spread STDs all over the place. It's my life. Why are y'all concerned? Those people need not be in my community. You're kicked out. You're not welcome. Because you have no sense. This is all prophesied to happen. Man, you said it, Lacey. This is in the Bible. Right is wrong and wrong is right. It's in the Bible. They said it. Every panel I get on, and I think I'm talking sense. And I'm talking not only common sense, but things that are based in historical fact, things that are based in all likelihood and statistics. You will just turn it around and act like what I said is not a fact, and your anecdote and or feelings are the fact. What's right is wrong and wrong is right. Now, I'm not always right. That's not what I'm saying. But one of the reasons I like more so debating with men is because we use facts. Facts are important to us. And everything I do, I try to do in the pursuit of truth. I'm not really trying to be right, because if I'm wrong and I got a chance to learn and now adopt that person's frame of thinking or whatever facts that they have, that's better for me. It doesn't matter if I was embarrassed in the moment for being wrong. I don't care about that. I have now gained greater understanding in my life and I can use to improve my situation. That's not how most people argue or debate on YouTube. Their number one sole purpose is to be right. Even if they're wrong, their sole purpose is to be right at any cost, even if it's at the cost of their integrity. If you agree with that, put a 1 in the chat. I cannot understand some of the people y'all listen to, bro. You ladies, y'all are screwing up. Princella the Queen Maker? Cynthia G? Good God Almighty. Y'all are, whew. Y'all follow about the most false idols I have ever seen. Sorry, it said something about direct deposit information was updated. I'm like, who updated my direct deposit? But had something going on with my HSA account at work. I'm like, where my money at? Oh, okay. Payroll said, oh, okay. Well, shoot, y'all created the account. Run me my money. Run me my money. Damn. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of people I like on in this space. A lot of people I like to listen to. They make a lot of good points. I don't 100% agree with anyone. If you're one of those people that are looking for a savior on YouTube, you got something wrong with you. Okay? The day I realized my intelligence and the day I realized that I was a fully grown man was the day I learned how to even disagree with my pastor on certain things. Not to lean on my own understanding, but to lean on my own interpretation in the pursuit of truth. People have a large amount of bias in their teachings sometimes. And the person that I'm referring to, he had a daughter that had a baby very young. So when it became to that part of the scripture, he was all soft hands. He didn't really want to lay into everybody on that particular topic. And I'm like, oh, I disagree. We know why you're doing it though. You should have left that part of the scripture alone if you were going to be soft hands. Y'all know me. That's not the Nigerian way. People make mistakes all the time in my family. Oh, you're never going to be absolved. You're going to hear about that shit. You are going to hear about it. You are going to be disgraced. There ain't no way around it. You cannot save disgrace for your bad decision making around these parts. You do the action, you will be disgraced. Now, to that topic about women having babies and stuff out of wedlock, here's really what it is. There in America, in these ranks around here, what y'all have done is because you have absolved women that make that type of mistake, you not punishing, shaming those type of occurrences is the difference between them having one baby out of wedlock and 3. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. So for those of you that say shame doesn't work, you're not doing it good enough. Go to these ethnic groups out here. Go to the Asians and ask them. I know y'all don't like using Africans as an example. That's y'all trigger. Go to the Asians and ask them if shame works. Go to the Indians and ask them if shame works. They run the best families, some of the best families in your country, mind you, not in theirs. They came here and are whooping y'all ass on every single level. They make more money than the average white man. They ain't worried about the white man like everybody else is. They buying up land in your neighborhood to sell you Snickers bars, okay? They buying up corner store properties, parking lots in Houston so you can go to the club, but you got to pay them to park your car. Go ask them if shame works. Don't ask me. Don't take my word for it. The difference between you shaming and letting somebody know that their behavior and decision making was deplorable, unacceptable, not how we get down in this family, and sticking it to their ass at every level is the difference between that woman having 1 baby out of wedlock or 3. I just want to give y'all a little piece of my mind right now before we get into the topic, because these things are important, man. These things are important. Shame does work. Now, today's topic is the starting topic, the main topic. I know y'all saw it. I'm gonna play the video and read. There was a doctor, a physician, that was cooking for her husband, and it says that she did so after a 13-hour shift. So we're gonna watch the video, we're gonna read the caption, and then we're gonna get into it. I got a lot of questions for y'all on this particular topic. Let me read this super chat from my man BMU. BMU says $10. Appreciate that. Nobody listens until the action takes place. The Bible teaches people will try to delete themselves in the end, and he will not allow it, but recommends them to keep doing what they are doing. They know they're doing wrong, BMU. It's okay. We've all done wrong. We've all done wrong. But you see, some people are here acknowledging it and doing the work to make the change, repenting, getting saved, putting back together the family that they broke and admitting that they broke it. You see, that's probably the difference. That's probably the difference between most people in the community. People try to behave like once somebody's made a mistake, they're gone forever. They're damned forever. No. The difference I can say between most believers and non-believers, or at least the ones that practice, is accountability. Have you put forth action to undo what you've done? I certainly have. I don't really have a choice. Like I told you, my family don't get down like that. You got to make yourself a part of a community, a part of a collective that holds you accountable. And if we're being for real, that's what most of y'all are running from. Most of y'all are running from that. You don't want to hear nothing about the mistake you made. You don't want to hear a damn thing about the mistake you made. You want to keep lying to yourself. I don't run from accountability. I'm the eldest child in a Nigerian family. I took accountability for other people's mistakes without even knowing what the hell the mistake was. I'm walking in from basketball practice talking about, you are supposed to watch your brother. What the? Oh, damn, what happened, bro? Shit. Just trying to teach y'all the game, man. But let's watch this video real quick and let's see what y'all thoughts are. Stay tuned for this. All right, so it says surgery resident. Physician cooks dinner for her husband after working a 13-hour shift, saying, and I quote, "My husband expects dinner when he gets home." All right. No need to drag that one out. I think y'all got the context. What are your initial thoughts? What are your initial thoughts? What are your initial thoughts about that? Now, first off. Oh, damn, Darnell beat me to it. He said she kept on her scrubs. Now, hold on, y'all, because I used to work in a hospital, okay? Not med surge. I mean, I did at one point, but not a general hospital, but mental hospital. And a lot of stuff went down in there that's even nastier that goes to some of y'all that have worked in that environment know. There, depending on what she was doing that day, yes, she might have been a little yucky. They wear scrubs regardless. Okay, so we don't know that she's a resident, mind you. We don't know if she went into surgery that day. And if she did, she's not going in necessarily with that on. She's wearing a drape or, over her clothes. She could have been in the classroom all day. She's a resident. She could have been observing through a window all day. She could have been talking to patients on follow-ups all day. She could have been examining x-rays all day. Just like the person did that. There was a resident when I got the surgery on my hand, okay? Examining stuff. We don't know exactly what he was doing. And I will tell you, if she was not in surgery, okay, there's absolutely no difference. We actually used to teach this in the hospital. There's no difference between her going to work all day because she's a surgery resident. She's not in sick call. She's not in an internist office. She's not in primary care. So those people aren't sick at the moment. If you're a doctor that works in primary care, like we call it sick call in the Navy, in the military, yeah, probably want to change your damn clothes because people been coughing on you all day. All right. But there's no difference between her going to work and cooking in her scrubs and you, because you've been around a bunch of people sneezing too. No difference. Assuming she did not go into surgery. And even if she did, she's wearing a gown, So her shoes might be a little mucked up, and the bottom of her garment, her pants at the bottom, maybe something might have got out there and splattered, but her hands covered, top covered, hair covered, everything's covered during surgery. So her cooking in scrubs is no different than you cooking in your clothes when you get home. No, this is scientific fact. I'm not joking. She was actually covered. Her whole body was covered if she went into surgery, and yours was not. You was kissing on your work husband and went home and started cooking. People sneezing in the cubicle next to you, and then you went home and started cooking. There's no difference. I'm telling you that. There's no difference. We used to have, damn, I ain't been in the hospital in a minute. I moved over to education like 6 years ago, so into medical education. But what did we used to call it? Not standard precautions. Is it standard precautions? But for disease control and pathogens, like bloodborne pathogens and training and all that, basically germ stuff. Germ stuff for keeping a clean environment, even in the administrative areas, because I was a healthcare administrator, okay? And no, y'all are far more dirty going in your car, which nobody's ever cleaned the upholstery, touching your steering wheel, touching the rail on the elevator, touching the rail on the stairs, getting through another elevator, walking through a crowded foyer or busy city street, smog, spit, sweat, doo-doo on your shoes, you step all of that shit back into your house. So I just need y'all to understand before y'all say, ew, she's super dirty. Thank you, Nick. I can't be out here losing my goddamn knowledge. Standard precautions. That's what it's called. All right, so Zero Tolerance says, scrubs or not, I'm not working a 12-hour shift and coming home and cooking jack. Well, let's talk about it. Zero Tolerance. And at some point, you're going to reveal who you are. You're going to come up on the damn panel. You talk a lot of smack in the chat. I need to see if you can verbally do this too. Tell us why not. Are you scared? Look, I'm not going to lie. I understand if you're actually scared. I'm not trying to bait you. I really like how some women are honest in the chat. I've literally went at some people on certain panels. They be like, no, I'm scared. I can only do this with my fingers. I can't do it verbally. Y'all destroy me. And that was very honest. Jill says, fact is, she came home from a long shift to make sure her husband's needs was met. I like it. Anissa, neighborhood contrarian, says, that's what I said. I can meal prep, or maybe he can have leftovers. Depends on what time she gets home. What if it's 10 p.m.? I told y'all already, my dad owned a nightclub, a bar, strip club, whatever you want to call it. He came home at 3 a.m. He closed his business at 2. My mom woke up out of her sleep to cook him a fresh meal. Most days. I didn't notice for years because I was a teenager. And you don't wake up at 3 a.m. But then I started waking up to go get water, get some juice. They just downstairs talking. I was like, what the hell? So the more I went down there, they would just be down there together talking. I also realized that when you have children, some of the only alone time you get, you tend to value that. It's actually very special. So if it got to be at 3 a.m, if y'all got to be married people and behave like y'all just met and crack your little silly jokes back and forth at 3 a.m, then that's just what you got to do. And that's actually one of the points that I want to make in this rebuttal and this response right now. My man MS Best says she's going with a fake name, Trigger. The real one is 0 cents. Oh, come on, man. That'd be a great debate for y'all to have, though. But let's talk about it. This doctor worked a 13-hour shift and came home and cooked for her husband. Let's talk about it. So, is there anything wrong with the doctor cooking for her husband? Because I know what y'all going to do. I know what y'all are thinking, and I already know your responses on this. If you'd like me to read it aloud, please send a super chat. I will read that aloud. Is there anything wrong with a doctor cooking for her husband? This is why married women die faster than single women. You gotta reread those stats. Zero tolerance. I've read so many stats on this type of stuff. They go by region, they go by country and find this stuff out. This is actually not true on the grand scale. It's not. Married women live longer, married men live longer. You gotta look it up. People find any group of data they can find that works to establish the bias and the narrative they want, and they go with it and publish it. On the grand scale, the world over, you have to understand that the habits of married people differ from the habits of single people. Single people will likely always die faster. Go look up, you know what? I don't even know this. I'm telling you something I don't know personally. Go and look up the rate of alcoholism in single people versus married people. I guarantee you, single people drink more. That just makes sense, right? That just makes sense, right? But let's talk about this, all right? Jill says absolutely nothing wrong with a doctor cooking for her husband. So if you go to the original post, I don't know if it was Shade Room. I think I pulled the one from Spiritual Word, okay? Go look at the original post, and I want y'all to do like I do. I want you to just go down to some of the most popular comments made on these posts, and just before you form your own opinion, go read the disgusting stuff people say about this. These comments were literally showing hate. I'm not miscategorizing this. Hate, deflection, radical feminism, and simping. I can't stand you simp ass niggas. Y'all know that. Those were the 4 things. Those are the 4 descriptors that I've chosen to describe what the comments were saying on this particular post made on Spiritual Word. Hate, deflecting, radical feminism, and simping. Deflecting, I might have to amend that later when I get the word, but there's a word. I don't really want to say gaslighting. I said I'm going to stop saying that. I've used it wrong, and partly is because my understanding of it was changed by YouTube people. I was like, oh, I thought gaslighting was the actual definition, but then people were using it for things that didn't really. They were using it for manipulation. Gaslighting is something different. But women were deflecting. Women were deflecting. They were in their feelings about this particular post, man. All right. So let's break this down properly. Let's break this down the way it's supposed to be broken down when you have a discussion on these type of topics. So first off, let's state the obvious, okay? We don't know that she worked a 13-hour shift. They just be writing shit. People just be writing shit. To be quite honest, we usually forget that when things are happening in a candid fashion, we not going to videotape ourselves doing it. We are not going to record it. She's doing something that I don't think a lot of people understand that women are doing. And she's just a black woman that did it. But white women are doing this to y'all. Asian women are doing it. Hispanic women are doing it. Indian women a little less. But I have seen I've literally collected a mental note over the last, let's say, 6 months since I've been heavy on YouTube. I have collected little bits of information to say, are these women going at black women for not being feminine enough? For not being good workers and good service people in there? They are. They absolutely are. And what this is an example of a woman who is literally at the top of the hierarchy. Can anybody tell me anything that's more world renowned than a doctor, than a physician? Can anybody? No, you can't. It is likely the world's top profession that is the most revered, highly respected, whatever. This is the top, meaning you can't say shit to her. unless she's really not a doctor and she just played dress up, okay, unless we find that out, this is a top tier woman telling you you ain't got shit on her. She's using you, modern women, to make an example. She is telling you that you ain't got shit on her. She worked a 13, went home and still held it down in the capacity that was expected of her. You ain't got shit on her. Fellas, put a 1 in the chat or send me a super chat if you agree. Y'all think this is just about posting. It is not. That lady is telling you, what are you complaining for? You better get your little eyelash boutique job out of here talking about you not going to cook for your man. I could have been in surgery today. I was putting in stitches. I was excising ganglion cysts. I was inspecting wounds so they wouldn't get infected. I was doing research, intensive brain work, and kinesthetic work for hours. And I still came and held it down at home. What is your excuse? These women are going to make an example out of y'all. This is why I keep telling you, you don't want to be on Feminist Island when the last plane leaves. Your own women are now coming out and sunning y'all ass. I'm telling you, please watch this closely. It's going to keep happening. They keep taking little digs, and they're not doing this just to do it. Because remember, when these things happen in a candid capacity, you're not going to record it. You're just going to do the work. So she's trying to make a statement. Who the hell do you think she's talking to? She's telling all you complaining ass women, I'm up here. This is you compared to me. And I cook for my damn man. What excuse you got? All right. Now, let me make some points here. When it comes to a woman cooking for her family, for her man, have y'all forgotten, ladies? I really have a question here because I know that y'all hate to do anything for a man. Some of y'all, anything associated with a man having pleasure and you have to work to achieve that, some of y'all ain't with it. Unfortunately, most of those women aren't married. Interesting fact, right? Interesting revelation, right? But these women that seem to have a lot to say about a woman doing anything, especially in a domestic capacity for her man and or her family, despite what she had to do, some of y'all hate it. My man MS Best says they hate that in general. But I want y'all to remember something, because radical feminism might have made y'all forgot. Some of y'all have forgotten. Some women enjoy cooking, no matter the circumstance. Some women enjoy cooking for their family, no matter the circumstance. Some people grew up cooking for their family, no matter the circumstance. Now, here's what's interesting. I don't know her name, but I did see her picture. I bet she's Nigerian. I bet money on it. She's an African woman. I saw her picture. I got a lot of cousins that look exactly like her. That's why I'm like, I saw the red booth. She might not be in the US. Those are the European, or really like London style telephone booths, that red telephone booth. So I think she might have been a European Nigerian woman. Nigerian European rather. Nigerian Brit. But that's my guess. I don't know if that's true or not. Y'all look it up for me and tell me. But these women grew up cooking. Because here's the funny thing about a woman cooking dinner for her family. She got to eat too. Oh, man. My man Chris Cager says she's African based off the food choice. So this is actually indicative of culture. If she's actually African, I want y'all to understand that it is not healthy to eat out. I am a product of that. My big 260-pound ass forgot that it is not healthy to eat out just because I got money. All right? It is not healthy to eat all your meals out, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's not healthy. Not only that, how many examples have we seen of women refusing to cook and thinking that just because they got money, they can buy food for the family, since that's usually, let's say, more often a domestic job which a woman performs for her family on behalf of her family. So feeding your kids McDonald's 4 times a week. Ooh, they got a special at Chick-fil-A 2 more times a week. Is it safe to say this is how we end up with daddy fat, mama fat, children fat, dog fat? That whole thing that I saw when I was down in San Antonio, the fattest people I ever seen in my damn life. Children cheeks, big greasy looking ass kids. You know, some of y'all that watch My 600-Pound Life, you know what lymphedema is? It's when they have that really fat, swollen leg. And we call it cankles on regular, I don't want to say regular size people. We call it cankles on chunky people. Some people even have cankles when they're not chunky, which looks even weirder. But this is a very fat leg. Look like you can puncture it and meat gravy is going to spill out. Okay. Some of these women don't cook to the point where their 6-year-old kid look like they got lymphedema. Where do you think that comes from culturally? You're not cooking. You know, we're actually going to get into this, Chris. We're actually going to get into this. Cooking is not actually gender-based. Not only do men work the grill, my wife has never touched, I don't even want to call it our grill. My grill, that's my freaking grill. Don't wash it. Don't do nothing. Let me tell y'all something about my grill. To honor this home that we bought, do y'all remember, y'all don't even understand how men think. Do you want to know one of the biggest hallmarks in my life, checkpoints for me to feel proud of myself? When we were younger, my dad went to like Walmart and bought this little doo-doo ass Sunbeam grill. Y'all remember that electronics company? I think most of us had their irons. They sold irons. But he went and bought a Sunbeam little grill, just a little small window on it. I think it was a gas. It was a gas grill. A little wood paneling on the side or whatever. And then one day we went to Lowe's and I just paused in the front and saw the stainless steel grill for the first time. Whoo! It was either Lowe's or Home Depot. No, it was Lowe's. I can remember it. They had them all chained to each other. Y'all remember that? Seeing those grills for the first time? I said, this is a man's grill. When I bought that damn grill, I had to rent the truck to bring it here to the crib. I had to rent their little truck they had in front. That shit fell over too. I was pissed. It bent the little side thing. Oh, shit. The grill fell in the truck bed, but man, that was one of the proudest days of my life, man. Y'all don't always have to do the cooking. Y'all don't man the grill for real. We do. But cooking for your family, women take that role on naturally. More of y'all are going to do it. Fireplace. We didn't move into the one with the fireplace. They had standard fireplaces in 3 of the communities we were looking at, and not in this one. in the homes. And my wife was really upset about it. And then I was like, we don't need no goddamn fireplace. This is Texas. The winter, quote unquote, is like 2 months and then it's back to summer. We don't need no damn fireplace. She ain't said a word about a damn fireplace since we moved into this house. Fellas, y'all better talk some sense into your lady when it's that house is probably like what, $50,000 more dollars. She ain't said a damn word about a fireplace since we've been in here. Don't let them just have you adding stuff for no damn reason. But let's talk about this, man. One of the key historical reasons that a man marries a woman, key historical reasons, is because she's a good cook. Am I wrong? Let me know if I'm wrong. That is one of the wowzer type things. And ladies, I don't expect you to agree or not. These are the discussions that men have with each other. When you are putting together a list of either what makes a woman valuable, or maybe you didn't put a list together at all. It's just something that you have happened to have experienced. Like, wow, she really takes pride in making sure you are fed, to making sure you are covered in any way she can assist. Because when you really think about it, ladies, there is not much you can do for us. We need our women in a way for procreation. We need you to give up that bonus hole because we're biologically wired like that. So we need you to give up that bonus hole. Don't get me wrong. But if we had to do it all ourselves, because I don't know why y'all complain about cooking. Y'all know men are actually better cooks than y'all. Most of the world's chefs are what? What gender? That brunch you went to yesterday, ask who curated that menu. I guarantee more than 75% of the time, 3/4 of the time, it was a man. Don't act like cooking is a woman thing. If we wanted to give it serious thought, we would always do it better than you. My wife used to laugh. You would burn water. Ha 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 ha. And then I started picking up the kids from school. And I said, this is kind of crazy. You know, when you first get married, y'all trying to figure out routines, or in this case, the routine changed completely and quickly. I was like, it seems kind of idiotic to wait for her to get home to get dinner started. Then I started cooking the kids dinner, and I had to learn. I've been a terrible cook. I've been great on the grill, but bad on the stove. And like anything, you learn. We have what we still got it. Whatever it's called, the Google thing. I'm like, hey Google, look up ingredients for blank. Oh damn, my phone said, oh shit, no, I don't need anything, Google. Thank you. Mrs. She said, how you doing? Says, most of the men I know are chefs by profession. We know. We know. Note Valerie, we did not say this. God damn. God damn. No, stop doing this. Stop doing this in my chat. Stop doing this, please. Y'all are not, it's not that y'all are only good for sex and domestic work. Okay, I might have said that. I'm not going to lie. What I'm saying is, one of the greatest gestures that a woman can make to take something off your plate, no pun intended, is to say, oh my goodness, you can do everything for yourself. You can protect yourself. You can manipulate the earth to go work. You can build your own shelter. You can congregate with another group of men and create a community that protects other. You can do anything. What can I do for you? Let me keep you fed. Let me give you children and I'll watch over them. This is something women have historically done to prove their value to men and the family. And I'm going to actually tell you something that I believe is actually historically accurate. Note Valerie, let me tell you right now, one of the reasons women will never stop cooking is because as a woman, you can have your shit together in every single way. But to win a man's affection and his eye and his attention, the one thing another woman will always have over you is if she can cook better than you or not. In that domestic role, when it's time to choose wives, and the men that are choosing understand the way they need to choose, you and whatever woman you're up against could have the same salary. He don't give a damn. Y'all could drive the same car. Y'all can have the same sex appeal, the same cup size. I'll put a damn tape measure around your ass, the same ass size. That is only but so much value. Show me any woman and I'll show you a dude that's just about tired of having sex with her. All that aesthetic stuff, your job, whatever appeal you think we get from it, you can be 100% the same as the woman you're up against. If he interviews the both of y'all, this woman is going to say, but she can't cook like me, though. She can't hold it down in the house like me. She can't raise better children. She won't read to our kids every night. She won't do blank. And that dude going to have stars in his eyes like, well, damn, you right. She don't talk about none of that. All she cares about is her own stuff. She keep trying to tell me how great her job is. That's not her value to me. That's not her value. It's a great addition. I'm glad she's educated. I prefer, and really, I'm not gonna say I prefer. I've only ever dated, seriously dated, educated women. But sorry, a woman that's better than you in a domestic capacity, that has the ability to do everything the same or better. Remember, this woman we're talking about is a doctor. Unless you're going to come out here saying that you're more productive than she is in society, y'all better. I am inspired too. $2. Appreciate that. Says, no one expect that unless cruel to their partner. Appreciate that $2 super chat. My man Trey, in with the toxicity today. Welcome, Trey, and his toxicity. He says, it's 2023. These women ain't cooking. They following instructions on the back of a box. That's true in some cases, but my wife's cooks, Trey. I can't relate. This woman get busy with that Google. This lady is a high six-figure earner that literally sends me recipes from Instagram. Ooh, maybe we should try this. This is a woman who is a vegetarian who stopped eating meat 8 years ago. That still makes it her business to learn how to cook meat dishes. Pause. Because her husband will never be a vegetarian. I tried it, y'all. I can't do it. I can do it for a short period of time. Women are cooking. But like most men nowadays, Trey, y'all just don't know where to find these versions that I got. God damn it. Maybe that's what I'll build my platform around, my little Patreon. Where do y'all find these type of women? I can open a damn box. Okay? It's nothing to cook that little General Tso chicken from Trader Joe's, which is bomb, by the way. That's not cooking. That shit quick. Get the little thing, vegetable oil, throw the rice in there, fake do the walk thing like the Chinese. That's not cooking. I can do that. I do that for my kids. Those quick meals are everything to me. Those quick meals are everything to me. God damn it. I didn't want to open Teams. People keep talking. All right. Let me see. This is not 1950s. Men got to come with more than a paycheck. Listen, zero tolerance. We disagree a lot, but I don't disagree on this at all. But what I need you to understand is that men were actually never just a paycheck. Can I prove it to you? I don't like to talk. You took the man out of the house, and then you had the biggest degenerates being raised that the world has ever seen. His value was actually never just his paycheck. Your legacy is directly tied to his. Because if you are raising children that are degenerates, murderers, bandits, as y'all call them on Cynthia G show, so you can't take that shit back now, his value, he was all the value. The family does not stand and is irretrievably broken if he's not there. A man was the community. We call women the cornerstone of the community. But do you know what a cornerstone stands on? A foundation. A man has always been the foundation. None of this shit works and will topple without him. I have always been more, and I make a lot of money. I'm not capping. Salary, check. Business, check. Investments, check. Roth IRA, check. I make a lot of money on my money. And my value, my actual value, has nothing to do with money. If you see my kids and how amazing these children are and what they can do and the promise of their little 4 and 5-year-old ass, they're young. And I'm telling you right now, one is going to be a pediatrician and the other orthopedic surgeon. My family has the results to prove that. And they're looking at them like, wow. Black Spanish speaking kids. None of that happens if I'm not here. Their mom can't get them to sit still to do their Spanish lessons on the internet with their coach if I'm not here. Stop putting a man's value. Stop describing it as money. That's where y'all failed. That is where y'all failed. That is why the community is broken almost irretrievably. All right. What else we got? Woo. This is a trigger alert. Trigger alert, trigger alert. One of the key historical reasons, we talked about that a man marries a woman is because she's a good cook. We know that. And I applaud all of you ladies for your academic endeavors. I do. But it does not supersede your domestic duties. It does not supersede. I'm going to stop saying we don't care because that's actually not true. That's false. We care if you are a competent woman. The same way a woman wants a competent man, I also want a competent woman. So we care about your achievements to that extent. I want a competent woman who will impart that knowledge on our children, which gives them a better chance of being competent themselves. Let's put that out on the table. Lay that down as the framework for this discussion. We care about your achievements in that way. I think being attached to a competent woman will give me the best chance at raising viable offspring that have a chance to compete with their peers when they're not around me. I care about that. Are we clear? But your academic achievements and your career do not supersede and or replace your domestic duties. They don't. I'm going to use one of my wife's good friends because it's the same situation. She's an anesthesiologist. Her friend is an anesthesiologist. I don't want to use a man because I know like 1,000 doctors. We got a bunch of them in my family, right? What y'all tried to do, and listen, men are not as stupid as you think. Men are not as dumb as you think. Y'all thought that y'all could run up the check with the Department of Education. Y'all thought y'all could get education so you could put off domestic duties. Wrong. The women that are doing that aren't even married, if you've noticed. So don't sit here and try to pretend men care or don't care. We cancel out your we don't even choose women like that for marriage. Because if you think that you could just get in the education game and start competing with me in the household and give me problems over whose duty is what, then we really got a problem there. So let me ask you this, because some of y'all don't understand that it's not good for anybody to keep a dirty house. But unfortunately, some women don't understand that men and women are different. There are women, a bunch of women, that will take a man that keeps, let's say, a moderately, he don't have to be that neat. I'm just going to put it that way. He's not that neat. That's the way that y'all are. Y'all are helpers. I don't even mean in the biblical sense. You want to help a man. That's your way to put on for him. That's your way to be like, ooh, let me show him my value. You want to help. You know how many women I've had in the past come over my apartment and be like, boy, start cleaning shit and putting shit up. And girl bought a duster. I was like, God damn, I ain't never dust this shit. No wonder I'm sneezing all over the goddamn place. She up on the blinds like, oh my God, you need to dust more. I was like, damn, you right. That girl almost passed out all that shit that came up from the little thing on the blinds. I was like, God damn. Girl, clean my whole damn house. We didn't even have a title. These are the tricks that women use to prove their value to you. Stop saying it's men that put y'all in this domestic capacity. Domestic work is how women compete for the attention of men. Stop the cap. No, Valerie, I think you make a very good point here. They wanted to make it comfortable for them. It doesn't. So no, Valerie, I think this is actually true. I would merge it with my point. They wanted to make it comfortable for them and then show their value to the man. Here's why that actually works. I'm good with that answer too. Whatever you're doing for me that then props up your value to me is beneficial. That will get a woman a ring. Really does not matter the reason she's doing it. Do you think he's going to be like, stop cleaning up my shit, yo? You know what? If you're a dude that's going to tell her to stop cleaning up your shit, put a one in the let me know in the chat. Be like, stop cleaning. Some of y'all niggas are weird. So somebody might feel that way. I'm not going to feel that way. Dust away. Oh my gosh. This lady used to come. Well, she was actually being a little bit of a stalker. I ain't going to lie. But the one that used to come clean my dishes and vacuum and do all that stuff, she was a little extra, but she really wanted the wifey title, but she was forcing it on me because I was like, not interested. And she would use that as an excuse to kind of worm her way through the crib. So, nah. No, Valerie also said, I've had someone tell me to stop and that I didn't need to. Like I said, some dudes are weird. I completely acknowledge that. And let me actually say this. It's because, well, it could be because some women actually use that as an excuse to go through his shit. So there are things that happen on both sides. So I've known dudes that are weird about that. Talk about she want to clean up. Next thing you know, she's going through your little accordion folder looking for your social security card. No, some weird stuff has happened to dudes. So we'll give grace where it applies. But let's talk about this a little further before I drop the link. In fact, I'm gonna drop the link right now because I know some of y'all have some thoughts. Come up and chat with your boy Trigger Mike. Thank y'all for coming through. Thank you for your super chat, and please drop another super chat with your thoughts on this because I'm about to go in. You can't replace your domestic value with outside work. You can't say just because I got a career, I no longer have to work in the house. My wife's very good friend. I don't even know if this is her best friend because her real best friend might get mad. I don't even know if she's watching the show. Let me shut up. My wife's very good friend is an anesthesiologist. And this lady works to the point where she has a housekeeper, and her husband is an engineer, by the way. She has a housekeeper and an au pair. And I found out that she pays for this. You got to understand that she's a multiple six-figure woman. Oh, she's a Nigerian woman, by the way. Because it's her duty to watch the children. And really, when you think about it, when I say she pays for it, because most families like mine, we're one pot families. So it's really silly and childish to say somebody pays for something. What we're really saying is that in your salary, there is money available and an allotment to do exactly what we're trying to do. God forbid she loses her job or something. They might not want to do that anymore, but they wouldn't need to because she'd be at home. Or she doesn't want to work anymore or something like that. So there is allotment in the money that she makes to do something that she believes is her job to do. She has an au pair and a housekeeper that's on call. Because my daughter went to there. I'm sorry, not a housekeeper. Yeah, housekeeper slash housekeeper and an au pair. They were at the housekeeper's house. That lady just picks up the kids and bring them there, and then the au pair takes over when anytime the au pair lives there with them. Okay, she believes that all of that domestic stuff is her job, so she's not asking her husband to do shit. She's letting her husband be him, letting him get his business up, letting him interact with his clients freely, because her job is all over the place, on call. She's an anesthesiologist, right? She don't even know how long she's going to be at work. That's why she has those caregivers with her. She's not saying, honey, can you tone down your job so I can work, which some of y'all are trying to do, which is probably the point some of y'all are even making. Like your job matters more. And if you want to have that discussion, I'll have that with you. I will have that with you. Historically, that's something that needs to be talked about. You cannot replace your domestic value. It's au pair. Thank you for the correction. Tia Marie says it's pronounced au pair. I love learning new things. I said au pair. I try to pronounce it the way the word looks. It's au pair. Thank you for that. You cannot replace your domestic value with outside work. This was a lie taught to you by your mothers and grandmothers, costing you a chance at real relationships. Think in your head right now. I'm not going to frame this for you. What group of women think that they can supplement their value in the house with academic achievements and career advancement? That group of women that you thought about right now, are they the most married women or the least? Let me know in the chat. What group of women think that they can supplement their domestic value with academic achievements and career advancement? Are they the most married or the least? Demetrius Carter says the least. MS Best says the most. MS Best says oops. He says the least. Listen, they are the least married. But let me bring up the people to the show, man. What's going on, y'all? Good afternoon.
Like you trigger.
What's good, man?
Chilling, bro. Hopefully y'all been listening. What's your opening thoughts, man? This doctor cooked for her husband after a 13-hour shift. What are y'all thoughts on that?
She ain't got no damn husband, trigger.
She does.
that video fake. Oh, I done dated a couple of dollars. I just looking at that damn house. Nah.
Well, what do you mean? I think it was an apartment. That looked like an apartment. The walls were very low.
Nah, yeah, it
was
looked like a big
there was no
house.
natural light coming through. homes have a lot of natural light, and those hallways were very shallow. That's likely an apartment. Yeah, the way the kitchen looked and everything. But she's a surgery resident, so she's
Well,
not
well,
she's not a
You, you,
fully
you,
licensed,
you
or
said
Go ahead.
you said she was Nigerian. Trigger
Yeah,
1-1, brethren. I dated a Nigerian during COVID. She had to work 13 hours. Yeah, I'm
damn.
telling you, if she would have cooked food, like women do not believe in personal space. So if she work at the hospital, she all up on them damn patients, touching blood packages and IVs and letting them damn kids cough on her. Probably about to catch malaria from dead bodies and shit. Like me personally, I need you to take them scrubs off. And that's my pet peeve during COVID. Like you got to take them damn scrubs off. Cause what you say the scrubs don't is bacteria proof or whatever. I don't believe that. So, and the fact that you recorded it, I would whoop your ass if you cook my food with the damn scrubs on, because they don't believe in personal boundaries. So she ain't
Uh,
married, or she ain't got no damn husband.
well, I'm gonna say, by going off of the narrative of the video, let's say everything from the video is true.
yep,
I'm gonna just say the same thing that all little women say when we getting on to a man for doing some simp shit. You can't control what that man wanted, what that woman want to do in her relationship. You can't get mad because she want to cook for her man and y'all don't want to do that.
agreed. And I
That's what they want to do in
agreed.
their relationship. That's their relationship. If she want to cook for her man after a 13-hour show, y'all shouldn't be in the comments going crazy or getting mad, or calling her out about it, or calling her names and stuff. Like, if that's what she feels like she want to do, that's what she wants to do. But the problem is she's making the other women look bad by default. And so that's what the problem is coming at.
Yep, I agree. Boy, they had a lot to say. Boy, they had a lot to say. John the Baptist.
Hey, can y'all fellas hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you clear.
Okay, yeah. Trick, I ain't gonna lie. I came in late. I didn't see the video. I just been following the conversation about the past 10 minutes though.
Yeah.
Uh,
The doctor lady came in. It says she came in fresh off a 13-hour shift and started cooking for her husband. So naturally, that's what the narrative is. Most of the modern women type that we talk about were in a frenzy about it. A lot of simp dudes were in the comments as well, like, "Oh, my wife wouldn't be doing that," but we know what the hell they're doing there. So, what are your thoughts about it?
yeah. My wife's not a doctor, but she does work in the medical field. She works long shifts. Well, she did at one time. She actually left her position. Um, yeah, but now she would have come home and cook. But she would take showers first, change clothes, and cook.
Thank you,
I
John the Baptist.
yeah, yeah, most definitely got to come home and take a shower and change clothes, whatever the case is. But most definitely, yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. It's no just like I come home off a long week, working sometimes 60, 80 hours a week. I come home and cut the grass and trim the hedges around the house, and that's just what we're supposed to do as husband and wives. It's like that's nothing. There's nothing great about this situation. It's just what you're supposed to do. And if anybody don't agree with that, then I don't know how you're going to run your house unless you're just you know want to spend all your money on people coming in and cutting grass and cleaning your house and cooking for you. Which we kind of do now. I mean, I don't cut grass anymore, but at one time for years, I would come home and cut grass, and she would come home and cook, clean the house.
All right, Payne, what's going on? He just came in. Yeah, but while Payne gets his stuff together, let me respond to what somebody said. Dina Forbes says that same woman gonna be filing for divorce soon. So I would say this culturally, I can see that a lot of women actually can't keep up, and it's not with a traditional lifestyle. Because let me say this: when I say, I'll keep saying it until y'all understand it. I'm not a traditionalist for the sake of being traditional. I'm a traditionalist because nothing else works. So remember, for every action, there's an equal opposite reaction. If you're a woman who is hell bent on not cooking for your family, but your child looks like he got damn near heart disease at 6 years old, that's your fault. Okay, so don't try to absolve yourself of the consequences of not doing something. Because what I'm really understanding now is that women will say that they don't have an obligation to do certain things as if it doesn't have a direct effect in the family. Understand that every action we don't take has serious implications in the family as well. So if you're hell bent on eating out or making sure you have takeout for everybody and doing all that type of stuff, you will see that represented in the health of that family. Because you didn't think to cook anything healthier, or even for your own children whom you claim to love more than anything, you don't even take their own health seriously. Okay? Like let me just take a straw poll right now. Who in a household, in most households, does the grocery shopping? Men or
Wife.
women?
Wife.
Large majority. Wife. So if you don't even think you should take the time to put apples, grapes, oranges, banana in your house for your children, even though you do most of the grocery shopping, the whole family is going to suffer. So it's not just about absolving yourself of these duties because you work. The family's health, your children's health. Forget the man; he can take care of himself. If you just that shitty, he can do for himself.
Let me add
But
one more
your
thing.
children will be affected. But go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry, Payne, you got it next. Go ahead. You on mute.
Yeah, so this is I guess opening thoughts.
Yep.
And listen, you know, they made a big deal of her working 13 hours. Remember now, she was home before her husband. He could be on a 16-hour shift.
I worked a 16. Look, you took it right out of my mouth.
So,
Standard, I worked a 16.
I don't even know if this is really a big deal. You know, my wife, when she was working, and she still does. And I'm home. I'm retired. She still come home and cooks during the week. It's some of the meals are just like putting leftovers in the tray. And on Sundays I cook, right? I'm the one who makes sure that the family gets around the table at least once a week because everybody's in different directions, and we eat at the table all together.
Yep.
You know, at least once a week. We do. If we can do it more, we will. But I set that up. You know, hey, here's the time we're going to eat. Everybody be there, and we're going to do whatever we got to do. So I think every household should at least have that at least once. But you know, we don't have any issue over that. So I think only modern era people make it a big deal of the woman cooking, because most women are naturally bound to cook, especially if they have a husband and children. If you're gonna cook for the kids, you're gonna cook for your husband. I think everything else is just made for these YouTube spaces so we can have something to talk about. Because I think most traditional families, not even traditional, I think just most families, you figure out how you're going to eat on a regular basis. And a woman has to be somewhat in the middle of that. And if she's not in the middle of that, you should have known that going in. And if it's really important to you, you shouldn't be married to a woman. That's
Nice.
how I look at
And to be honest, I think in most relationships, I think women who cook, clean, take care of the house, they end up doing more around the house, even if they work, because they actually add on to their daily duties by taking on a career in education. You're adding to your plate. So I mean, so if you choose to go to work, you're putting yourself to work 16, 18-hour days combined with work and at home duties because of your choices in life. You're choosing to put yourself in a situation because you want to because you want hold on for a second. Let me say this when we got out of the way. Because you want to compete with your husband in earnings. And that shouldn't be a stress issue, something you should be worried about. Well, go ahead.
Listen, let me finish my little thing. I disagree with that blanket statement because most women have to work these days.
So let me say this, Payne, because John the Baptist is right.
No, it's not.
Hold on, he's right. You got to let me explain why he's right first. What women are doing, and one of the things that a lot of men don't pick up when they say things, they act like we sent them to work. We never did. What women will say, even on this very topic, women are saying, if you have your wife working, what man on the panel today literally met a woman and said, you're going to school for nursing. When you get that nursing degree, you're going to work 60 hours. None of us sent your ass nowhere. Not one man on this panel sent his wife to do shit. hold on. They did all of that on their own, not just to compete with the men. They do it to compete with other women just so they can look good. Remember,
You mean a
all
woman
those
getting a
degrees,
job is to compete?
achievement. Hold on. Achievement. They think achievement leads to happiness. That's already been proven not to be what the neurological center for happiness actually is. It's not achievement. So what I'm saying is, it's actually not true when people say that women have to work. No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
In order, y'all gotta let me finish.
I agree with Mike, man.
Trigger Payne was in Fight Club
hold on.
this weekend. That's why he keep cutting you off.
I was about to say, in order for the family to maintain what she wants, then she goes to work. Every time y'all say this, y'all don't realize that there's a Mexican family next door where everybody lives off of that man's salary. Now, here's the funny part about it. I knew somebody was going to do it, and I was sitting here waiting. Now she's going to bring up $42K. When a woman is home, a man can work an unlimited amount of hours and multiple jobs, which is what most of what our fathers did. If you're going to be here saving us money, I can go to work to take care of our needs. And a man will traditionally have done that. So he's making $42K from the job that's on paper. You see what I'm saying? But he's going to have other jobs. He's going to have a job where he works overtime, brings in another 20. He's going to work security on the weekends at that little spot or whatever he needs to do, because that woman is saving money. They don't have any childcare expenses. She cooks so he doesn't have to eat out at work. Like, women don't understand that nobody's sending your ass to work. That is
Women
honest.
generally work to keep a better lifestyle than what they currently
Hispanic
have.
families do it on less than 42,000.
Less than 40. Stop with the cat. That's why I'm like, yo.
Yeah,
And
they
the
women
reason-
generally
yeah,
work
to
to
give you
uphold the
real-
lifestyle.
To give you real life experience, I'm a high school graduate with no further, well, maybe some training outside of high school, well, 1 month or 2 training, and I still take care. I worked 8 hours a week and still make most more than people who got degrees. I'm not gonna say everybody make degrees, but it's
That's very
not like,
common too.
yeah, it's like it's women do this because they want to do this. It's not a need for the family structure for the wife and the husband to work. It's a desire to keep up with the Joneses and the lifestyle that we really don't need to keep up with.
Facts.
I mean,
That's
to the
it.
Nigerian point,
That's
Trigger.
it right there. That's it right there, John the Baptist. That's it.
Yep,
Right
they
there.
living for what
They
they
want to
want
live a
instead
lavish
of
lifestyle.
right. They're living for what they want instead of preparing for what they need, and that want is what's pushing them over. Exactly.
You
Yeah.
guys,
No,
you guys
I gotta
to
go on the Nigerian part with Trigger. Like the Nigerian that I was talking to, like she had to pay for her mother and her side of the family expenses. So I don't know if she had to work that, but Trigger, don't, like most people that's like high in the hospital, don't they have to work like 13 hours?
Yes, as a resident. So it's actually like very bad. Like the hospitals get over on them. They work 80 hours a week.
Yeah,
Residents.
so
So yeah, it actually comes. The amount of hours they work during the residency actually turns out to be like damn near minimum wage from what they
but
get
I mean
paid.
she
You know, they
wanted to
get
cook,
paid
Trigger,
salary
but
pay.
she wanted to cook, but if I could take the load off, I used to just get both our food every day when she get off work. Like, you been on your feet 13 hours, like I got it. She
But
wanted
that's
to
in
cook,
her though. So let me tell you about those. That's in her. When she got out work, she knows the expectancy of her husband. That's in her. We don't need to change what the woman doing. It's in her. That's what's in her. You see
but
what
that's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying, Bill. But that's what I'm saying, Bill. You like, I'm different. I can't eat that Nigerian food. I go to the Nigerian restaurant
Well, we don't care.
and
We don't
get
care
my.
what kind of food it is. I'm saying if it's in a woman to be that type of woman, and she had a good mother or somebody that raised her to be that way toward her husband, that's just who she is. It's just in her. And a lot of people try, it ain't 1956, it ain't 1946. And you're right. You're absolutely correct. Because in 1956 and 1946, the marriage rate was probably at 85%, and now the motherfucker at 13. So you
Y'all
tell
need
us
to
what we're going wrong.
y'all need to what I keep hearing. I've been saying this for a while. Men need to understand what feminism talking point really is, because this is kind of, and no ill shot to anybody. This is one of the things that's destroying family and families and family marriage altogether, because these talking points of letting women working and putting their career first is actually destroying what their man purpose is too. It's not just destroying the woman; It's destroying how the woman values or devalues the man at the same time. At the same time.
So I should just get off the panel because all of y'all don't want nobody else to explain.
Oh, stop attention
Let me
seeking.
finish saying what I'm gonna say. Besides all the idiots
R-Pain,
I'm
you
right
shouldn't
now.
have went to Fight Club. You tripping.
You too old for that,
$42,000 a year. How many today? How many of you guys living? Forget your woman working. Okay, she don't have to work. You know, because I take a lot of shit on these panels for this thing. It sounds really ridiculous. The position you guys are talking about, like a woman working is destruction. It depends on where her head's at. No matter whether she's working or not. You think there's women who don't work who are destroying families? We got to
R-Pain.
Let me finish.
No, because you do.
Let him get it all out. Let him finish. Go ahead.
Let me finish, man.
Well, land the plane.
Down here saying it's a talking point. You sitting down here giving us this bullshit. What woman you know is living? What couples you know living off of $42,000 in any kind of
man? That stat is fake. That's not a real stat, bro.
My experience with my wife was she didn't have to work because she lived at my level. Great, but she still worked. It didn't destroy my family. When it was time for her to leave, because we had kids, I said, "Why don't you stay home? I've got it covered." That's how you're supposed to do it. You don't go in saying, "Hey, listen, woman, you want to work, so somehow you're diminished as a person because you want to work." That's just bullshit.
R-Pain. Okay, so you do.
Who said that she diminished?
R-Pain. You do. R-Pain. You do a terrible.
Working destroys the family because she wants a job.
R-Pain. You do it. Hold on 1 second. R-Pain. You do a terrible job of listening.
No, you do a terrible job of listening.
Let him R-Pain, go ahead.
You do a terrible job of.
John the Baptist, go ahead.
You do a terrible job.
R-Pain, who said that a woman's role is diminished? I'm telling you that my girl works.
Hold on. Hey, let him finish, bro. Let him finish.
R-Pain, you do a terrible job. You do a terrible job of listening. Because you took everything I said and misconstrued it. What I said was feminism, recognize the point of feminism, and how it destroys the role of men and women. It teaches the women to divide. It teaches women to divide the role of men and men to divide the role of women. What I'm saying to you is, if you take feminism out the way, women fall into their natural category, into their natural order of life. Feminism is made
work. That means that wouldn't work.
Listen.
I'm asking you a question. Does that
mean
work?
Let me. So when you
answer the question. Does that?
I'm going to. Hey, hold on, son. Hold on 1 second. So
John
now,
the Baptist, I would tear his ass up at Fight Club.
So now, if a woman designed to meet the purpose of the man. If she decides to go to work outside of the man's purpose, everything that she's doing is destructive outside of that man's purpose because she was created for his purpose. What feminists have done is made the woman think that she's not created for the man.
I'm talking about feminism. I'm not talking about feminism. I'm talking about a woman who wants to work.
And I'm telling you, I'm saying to you, if you listen to what I'm saying.
I'm not talking about feminism.
If you listen to what I'm saying,
that's how he started.
Trigger, you see him?
R-Pain, hold on, John. I got you, John. R-Pain, that's how he started out, though. He said,
Trigger, you see how he
started out by saying that. He said the feminists. He started out by saying what he just repeated to you.
You see it, JT?
But he's responded to me, and I'm not
tearing that ass over Fantasy Island.
I didn't say anything about feminism. Let's just stick on point.
I'm on point. You just not listening.
No. He said about feminism, Mr. Payne. You changed it what he was saying.
Yeah. Let me say this because Payne, you did kind of bring up a point nobody was making because it's not.
It was my opening statement.
Hold on. What I'm saying is that nobody was making the point that women shouldn't work. So here's the different. Here's the different part. Hold on. It's not the point we're making because I didn't hear anybody say that.
No,
you see it, BMU.
I didn't hear not one person say that.
Didn't have to work.
No, you don't listen well. You don't listen well.
Not one person said women should not work because the actual truth is women have always worked, and the difference is the purpose and the mindset of what women believe their work is for. The women have traditionally worked, and in fact, that is the role of family. Do you know the word family? What it's derived from? I mean, in Latin. It's called it has the word slave in it, but a family is just a work. It's us. I'm sorry, your staff. Your wife is so it's not you saying, will you be my wife? Essentially, a man is saying, will you be a part of my family or will you be a part of my staff?
Okay.
If what he needs from his worker, it's like, I can go to work and do this all on my own. But a woman, usually smart people will say, well, if I work too, everywhere we're trying to get, we can get faster. And the faster we do it, the better we do it. I'll get to sit down first. What you're saying about women not working is great. I'm saying what you're saying about women not working is great. That's not scalable for everybody immediately, especially people that don't have generational wealth in this country. Most people that get together, especially people of other ethnic groups, I see the Hispanics doing it a lot.
Okay.
These women are proud to go to work to contribute to their family.
So what did I say that women weren't proud to go to work? I didn't say that.
What I'm saying is that you're saying that we said women should not work.
No, I didn't say what. I said women shouldn't work. I didn't say that.
We didn't say you don't listen well, dude. You don't listen well.
Listen.
You don't listen.
You don't listen either because you want to get your point out.
You don't listen. You are terrible at communicating.
Diatribe about women. You made a blanket statement that women work for a particular reason, and then you give me this whole show about other women don't work that way. Right? You said women. If you just talking about black women, they get a job, and so all of a sudden they say, "Well,
oh God, you are terrible at listening. You are terrible at listening."
We just saw a clip of a woman who works 13 hours a day, and she came home.
Put it in the back check, Ashley. Put it in the back check, Ashley.
Yeah.
All right, let me get the first question going. I think we've beat the opening thoughts to hell. All right. So,
yeah, thanks a lot, Rich Payne. I didn't get to get mine.
This your fault, BMU.
My bad. BMU, no, we've been arguing the same shit for so long.
No, you good. You good, Trigger. I was just gonna repeat what you said.
You know what, Trey? You're gonna get the first question, so it's still on the same thing. Why do modern women get upset when another woman shows adherence to traditional values?
Pressure. That's why. It puts so much pressure on them. This entire thing, and this is why I love when we have these videos of women doing traditional things, because I love to see the backlash from the women who are basically just go off on these women. And it's just like, but she's doing what she thinks is right for her family and how they operate. Right? I don't have a problem with it. I have worked with women. I have lived with women who worked 12, 14-hour shifts and came home and made me dinner. And I was lazy. I was sitting on the couch. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was sitting on the couch. She worked a full 12-hour shift, and she came home and she said, "Are you hungry?" Well, since you asking, yeah, actually I am hungry. If you're gonna go make something, if you're not, then I'm gonna order something like I would normally do. I don't have an issue with this, but I just love to watch the comments because it just further proves my point that a large majority of the modern day women are not marriage material. They're just not prepared for it. They don't want it.
Man.
They don't want it. And this is sometimes what it takes. I have worked 14, 16-hour shifts and have either picked up food on my way home and or cooked for my girl, whether she was sick or it was her off day and she didn't feel like cooking or whatever the case may be. This isn't a one-sided thing, but I love the fact to see the modern women get. I mean, those comments were crazy. They were upset about it, and that this is what works for her marriage. And good on her. Good on her. If that's what works for your marriage, great. Good for you.
Preach. Let me add this part before you go BMU. Let me add this part. When y'all say that it's hard to find a good woman, I don't believe it actually is. So many of these women disqualify themselves by what they say in these particular situations. You just have to pay attention. Go look at those comments if you have not. These women are disqualifying the shit out of themselves. So you need to take all of that good knowledge that you're getting, like, oh, this one, because you know how Instagram pulls up the comments from the people you know in your friend group. So I get that first. I'm like, oh, this person feels this way. I knew it, terrorists. I was like, you should be collecting this type of data because what they're saying is how they're going to treat you in a relationship. So that's very good data there if you want to pay attention. BMU, you got the floor, bro.
Yeah, I think it's real crazy to show a married woman, right? She's married and coming home and serving her man, and single women are screaming out in the comments, in the chats, that this woman has lost her mind. This is not 1953. It's amazing to me that you guys will say this woman is crazy, but you know what y'all will do? The single women, you'll come home after a 13-hour shift and let a nigga go raw So what's wrong with a woman cooking a steak with a side of coleslaw? So this is what gets me. See, we have to be real and unfiltered about this shit. You'll come home and that Pookie or Ray or whatever the dude that you picked, right? Because you couldn't get nobody else, right? You'll come home after a 13-hour shift and he can knock your back out, but you can't take no food out. See, this is the problem. This is what we're running into, guys. And like you just said, Trigger Mike, they're disqualifying themselves. All you got to do is just let them talk. Don't argue with them. Don't say nothing to them. Just let them talk. And they'll talk themselves right out of a husband, right out of a relationship. They'll talk themselves right into the bed, and the man won't even text them back no more. Just let them talk. They'll talk themselves out of it. This woman did a wonderful thing. She came home. She said, my husband has an expectation for his wife to serve him. I don't give a damn if I work 15 hours. This man, I'm going to feed my man. And for women to be upset about that is because you're too weak and independent-minded, and your mama taught you different. Your single mama, of course, taught you different and told you that your daddy wasn't nothing. And the reason she told you your daddy wasn't nothing because she didn't know who your daddy was. I land my plane there, y'all.
Yeah. How you
good
talking
day,
to you
guys.
outside the
How's everybody doing? Good day, guys.
We
Hey,
straight on.
what Trey say? What say, Trey?
I said, how you talking to you outside the club? If you ain't married, how you talking? I mean, I can't hate on that woman. She cooking for her man. Cook. Do what you gotta do.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I said.
Yeah, but look at it this way. You guys have to see it from a different perspective. The reason why they reacted the way they reacted is because they all want to be the same. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you're breaking the sister code when you go and cook for your husband. So now her husband or her boyfriend is going to ask her to cook for him. So if they all can do bad, she's good. So she doesn't want to see some of them doing bad, whereas some are doing good. So the ones that do bad don't want any other woman to do good, because if you do good, that will make men to come to her and say, okay, but Keisha can do it, and Tiana can do it. Why can't you do good? So she doesn't want that. She all want all of them to do bad so that she won't be judged. That's why you see all these things going on. When one woman is doing bad, she wants the rest of them to do bad.
So not only is that correct, I need y'all to understand, do not be the last one on Feminist Island when the last plane leaves. In fact, be the last one so I can say I told you so. Because what not only these women are doing, right? So now you're starting to see little bits and pieces of black women doing it, because I need us to remember we have been in this social media generation for so long. We forgot that nobody tapes or nobody records themselves doing candid shit like that, especially after work. Nobody does it. So they're doing it to make a statement, and they're doing it to come directly at these other women. And I just want you to understand the race of women that typically do this. They're literally going smack at black women, white women who are radical feminists who don't want to adhere to what their man got to say. They are making an entire new culture of women. This is why I say nature always wins. What you think is a assumed gender role, like men created it, it's actually a natural role. Because if men decided to start performing and running on all cylinders, other than sex and domestic work, we wouldn't need you.
Like me.
I'm sorry. Other than sex, we wouldn't need you.
You be in a boat like me.
Exactly. So the way a woman shows her value to a man is say, let me do something for you so you don't have to do it yourself. It's the way it has always been. Let me rub your shoulders. Let me cook for you. Let me feed you. Let me care for your children. Otherwise, it's going to be hard for us to see your value, because we can create everything. Shelter. Look, men build everything. Are most farmers men or women? They're pretty much all men. Exactly. Yep. So if we wanted to do a lot of shit without you, we would survive to the end of time. We would just be horny as fuck. That's about it.
Do we not understand that if women would start working, let's go to the worst case scenario, right? Because you got to remember the reason why women started work, because in this, I think it was the 60s, 70s, they saw that they could make money off of dual income families. If women never start working, don't you know inflation would have risen slower than it actually did now? Because more money makes you buy more stuff. More stuff that you spend takes more money to buy as time progresses. If you make less money, things won't escalate in price as much. So we actually working, guys. We working more hours for less money.
Not to
And they're
mention
the most,
taxes.
the
You can
biggest
tax. You can tax
consumers
both. You
too.
can tax both. You can tax the man and the woman now.
Then the
Correct.
woman is the biggest consumer. So when women started making money, they actually started spending at a higher rate than men making the same exact amount.
So we actually killed the argument about why we actually helping the argument why women really shouldn't be working, why we shouldn't have dual income families, because it makes things jump astronomically more at the cost.
Well, yeah, and at this rate, what we can say is that the only thing that's going to take that away is AI, right? Because it when you look at it on a grand scale, right, it's going to take out like the top tier, like CEOs and all those people first that plan shit, but then it's directly coming. Women do nothing with their hands, damn near, unless you braid hair or so. Men, it's all it's going to take out all of these admin positions that were made, support positions that were made for women, basically, right? So society is naturally going to correct itself, guys. That's why I'm like, the more we talk about this, society is doing the work for us. The universe is going to shift, and women are not going to have anywhere to turn to, and then they're going to be here trying to say their I'm sorries. But
Right,
who hasn't
and
gone
that's
yet?
why, and you know what, and that's why a lot of times now, and I hate to say this, but it's a lot of times now when women are in situations where this is why men have taken on the fact that if it ain't my woman, I ain't protecting nobody but my wife, my
Yep.
children, my
Yep.
family. Because now it gets to a point now, if a man see a woman getting her head split, or a man see something happening to a woman and she in danger, they walking right past their asses. Right? Because now men feel the need. Hey, listen, I'm not going to put my life on the line for a woman that's going to turn around and cuss me out or be back with this dude in 2 days. You're completely out of line. I'm going to protect the women that I know who are on the same path or going down the same path. And those will be my wife, my daughters, my children, my aunt, my mom,
Yeah,
people like that. Yeah, that's why
that is
men
true.
are choosing not to protect anymore.
And let me say this, because I'm actually going to make this the next question. Because what I think women have done, and we let them get away with this shit. They look at a woman who's not in the workforce as a woman that doesn't work. That is not true. A stay-at-home mom can work twice as much as a woman with a career. And she's happy to do so on behalf of her family. Because what the example I'm going to make of this, and me and my wife were talking, and I completely forgot. Any of y'all that have been into the Northeast area where like the Amish are in Pennsylvania and all that type of stuff, you got to
Yes,
remember that
sir.
these women make their own soap. These women make a fresh squeezed orange, all this type of stuff to sell at the farmer's market every day. These women are working countless hours on behalf of the family. The men are doing heavy lifting and putting together shelter and fixing all that stuff. The women are churning butter and taking care. Like the women, just because they don't have careers, you think that these women are on easy street. And we got to stop letting them conflate those two. Women work just like literally you have your own section of work to do that contributes to the viability of our lives and our families. So I think we're listening to the laziest version of women that have ever lived, that watch Basketball Wives and Love and Hip Hop and think that they are entitled for a man to provide that for them. What do y'all think?
Yeah, because a modern woman
But
right now cannot even sit on the same bus with an Amish woman. Not on the same bus with one. There is no comparison for what those women do for their children and what they do for these women are out picking fruit. They're out, like you said, churning butter, making orange juice, cooking, making sure everything is taken care of. Man, they don't. It's not even a comparison, bro. And they'll be hating on them if they put a video up. I don't know why they out churning
And
butter
they
with them damn kids.
and they do all of that for themselves. None of that is outsourced.
Exactly.
Trigger, like I don't know what it is, but these women that's working like these high end nursing jobs that do like 13 hours, like they not thinking about being a housewife no time anytime soon. Like just from it may be anecdotal, but I know a lot of women that's in that area, like they don't they don't see that as a positive. They don't want to do that. Like they feel like their value come from working. They feel like they're a slave being a stay at home mom. Like they just can't do it.
No,
I've
I
heard
mean,
women use that exact term too. That I'm not your slave, and They want to be stay at home, but they want to have the job for the leverage, the pull of being able to do stuff like that.
Even look at what you just said, Ashton. Look at what you just said. What women end up doing. This is the cycle that women go through. They are trying to compete with men and other women, right? They like the look of the all-purpose woman, the woman that can go to work, the woman in the business suit. They love that shit, right? And they want to do shit that men do. Have y'all not realized that all of this shit is just them just trying to be like us? They're really upset that they don't have dicks. That's the end all be all of this conversation. They want to go out and move like us and what they think we do it for. But they think we get fulfillment from going to work. This is why I use this analogy so much of the dude in 100-degree weather. What do you call it? Welding the damn school together. He didn't dream about doing that shit as a kid. He's doing it so he can provide for what he actually loves. And what happens is that women realize that their purpose is not work. They realize they do not have the capacity for work that we do. I worked an average of 16. I ain't never complained about that shit a day in my life. Y'all women in the chat would be fucking screaming if you did what I did. Okay? I worked an average of 16 in the hospital. I never
go home every 3 weeks.
But that's what I'm saying, Trey. Okay, my bad.
Let me finish the point. So when they realize they don't have this capacity for work, then they start pretending like they're envious of women that get to stay home. Look, well, you're supposed to provide this. None of it comes with the accountability that they now have $60,000 in college debt that they don't want to no longer pay for. And now they shame a man for not being able to do that for them, even though he never asked her ass to go to school in the first place for sociology. It's crazy.
But that's my point, Trigger. Like, that's how I know the video fake. Like, these women be tired from working all goddamn day. Like, me personally, like,
hold on.
Let
me correct. That video ain't fake, man. It's women out here who are raised by women who taught them serving is over everything that you do in life. It's women out here that's doing exactly what you just saw. Come home from
BMU, but I'm staying on Trigger topic. He know for a fact she Nigerian. I dated a Nigerian that worked 13 hours, and I know for a fact I would have told her take them damn scrubs off. You be touching shit. I'm just being honest, Trigger. Like, that's how I know the video fake.
You must have a great value in Nigeria. You ain't have no real brand because I'm telling you right now that if you had a good woman like that, she come home and cook. You don't give a goddamn what kind of scrub she got on. If she come home and serving you,
I don't want that Nigerian food. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know myself. So if she cooking food, she cooking it for herself.
You talking about the morals?
Yeah,
I'm saying you talking about the morals.
Y'all missing the point. I'm telling y'all that I would not have her cooking the food because I don't eat it. So she either cooking it for herself, or if she cooking something for me, she gotta take them damn scrubs off.
But what you're saying is irrelevant. We're talking about the fact that the woman is actually making the effort.
Yeah, the menu can change overnight. Like, she could cook anything you want her to cook if she that type of woman.
Yeah, she know what her man like. My man don't like Nigerian food.
Y'all acting like pain there. Y'all acting like pain there.
But what I'm saying is, if
all three of us could be right. But
Ashton, what I'm saying is, you don't like the food. You're talking about the food. We're talking about the action. What I'm saying is, if she know her man and she know Ashton don't like Nigerian food, she's not going to cook you Nigerian food.
All right, let's get in there. What up, bro?
Oh my God.
So can she keep her scrubs on if it's not?
I don't give a goddamn what she cooking if she coming in.
Okay, the scrubs is the last thing we should be talking about. What we're talking about. What we're actually talking about is a woman who doesn't have a problem serving her purpose as a good wife to her man. And what these women are going off of, what these women are commenting on, is the fact that they're weak. Weak means you're unable to perform these actions, right? They'll never be able to acquire the power or respect or admiration of a man, and they're refusing to actually come to their role that they were given to as women. So then where does that leave them but complaining all the time about women who do work and who do make it, and women who don't work and stay at home and having happy and fulfilling relationships because the man is out there doing what he's supposed to do and the woman is at home doing what she's supposed to do. What they're complaining about is people who are doing what they are supposed to do.
Shit, I thought that was Morpheus. Boy, what's up, man?
You know, I agree with that because let me tell you what the actual thing is. Like, one of the actual things are. A lot of the pushback from women has to stem with what they think we're doing. They're trying to put off their role. This is why we say y'all are trying to compete with men. Because once we say, hey, women are the ones who traditionally cook, you'll say, but what is the man doing? Well, what is he doing? And I'm going to tell y'all once again, stop worrying about what we're doing. It is very rare, extremely rare, that throughout the course of a decades-long relationship or marriage that a woman will even come close to working the amount of hours that her man is worth. What they're actually doing, and this is why I'm trying, this is the purpose of this show, one of the purposes rather, is to teach you women better. Your focus is off. Y'all are not focused because what you're so focused on what the man is doing that you're trying to be more man than woman. And by the time you realize and are smart enough to realize you are a woman and you should start taking that role more seriously, all the good men are gone and you have no options.
Yep. And you 53 years old at home with your Shih Tzu.
The race that we have going now is that most smart people and most smart women want to contribute to their family in the best way they can, even if that means working. So if the husband says, hey, you're a member of my staff, remember, that's what family means. You are a member of my staff. The best way you can serve right now, go to work part-time. Go to work full-time at that job since you find fulfillment in it, since the children are in school. If he needs you to stay home until the children go to public school, stay home. If he's like, yeah, go to that job and we can buy the house.
Hey, mute JT.
Exactly. We can buy a house faster if you go to work and we save all your money for 2 years. Do you know that is the actual natural makeup of what most families are doing and how they achieve prosperity? It's that the man is holding down everything that needs to be held down and the woman's stuff is just extra.
Hey, man, you know what, Trigger Mike? I have a question,
Actually, that's what the Indians do. That's what the Indians do. We black people, we're stubborn. We can't live. We can't have
you
breaking
up like the Jackson 5. You breaking up like the Jackson 5. Trigger Mike, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
We have this question floating around the area that men that want traditional wives, but don't want to be traditional. When is it? I grew up with 2 generations of women who were married for 50 plus 60 years, and those women worked. Like, I'm trying to understand where this notion came from while all these women were sitting at home doing nothing. They were housewives. These women worked.
They worked. Wait, hold on, BMU. You got to add to it too. They worked dramatically harder jobs than y'all were.
Oh, absolutely.
These women were maids.
And there were no washer and dryer at home. No washer and dryer. They wash everything with their hands. The thing is this: the current woman, the modern woman, is a lazy ass.
She is.
And guess what? You're absolutely right, my Trigger Mike. Whoever said it about washing. Oh no, washing. There was no washing and dryer. You're absolutely right. My grandmother would tell. She still tells it now. She's 91. She still tells the stories of, I would sit outside with a board between my legs and I would wash everybody's clothes. I would go out and straighten hair for 50 cents a head. I would sell a dozen of eggs for 25 cents a carton to help anything that Joe's grandfather was doing. Right? And she would tell me those things. My grandfather went to work off on the pipeline, making great money in that day. Well, almost 40 years on the pipeline, and my grandmother still decided to go work. So these women were not sitting at home watching The Price is Right, Bold and the Beautiful and Guiding Light. They was fucking working.
So BMU, why did everybody give me so much shit about women working?
Well, I didn't. Well, hold on. But what I'm saying, I don't know why nobody giving you no shit about women working. What I'm saying is, we can't have this thing about when people are asking the question. If you want a traditional wife, you have to be a traditional man. Because okay, then, well, if that's the case, look, let's get something. That's what I want to do, Trigger Mike. Get my grandmother and all these other older women who've been married for 58, 60, 70 years, and let them have them on a panel to have this conversation where they can teach these young women. Baby, we worked in the sun. We put clothes, we pinned clothes on the line outside. We was working with the kids. Homework. Then women worked the job.
BMU, that won't even help, because if you bring your grandmother to the panel and she say all those things, guess what? 20% of the women will agree with her. 10% will say 40% will cuss her out, and the
They'll
rest will
say
be
it's
like
not
she
your
don't know what
time.
she's talking
This
about.
ain't
They will be like she
1950
don't.
anymore.
Yeah, they will be like they will start calling your grandma 1950. Let me tell you something again. These women are lazy.
They are lazy.
I think what you have to have happen is you have to have a shift, and what you have is these women who are traditional. We got to start putting them to the forefront. We got to start pushing them out and letting
I agree.
everybody see that this is the type of woman that we're looking for. I think a lot of the time, this is why this video is so polarizing, because we don't see it enough, right? And that's why it But if we push this out and say, listen, this is what men want. We don't, we want a woman who's okay with coming home and cooking after a long shift. But a lot of the times, these modern women, they're the loudest, and they're out front, and there's a confusion thinking that that's what we want, when it's the furthest thing from what we want.
So not only are you right, so this is why I think I said it a few episodes ago. This is one of the issues that I have with the modern wife, is that the sisterhood got y'all so shook to tell everybody what you're actually doing, because you're going to get shamed for it. But I need you to put on some hubris, show some hubris, and be like, I don't give a damn. This is what I'm doing. And not only that, I like doing it. The reason why this is such a key video, and it just takes little moments like this, like I said in the monologue, this lady, what woman gonna say they're better than her? She's a fucking surgery. She's not even a regular doctor. She's a surgeon. Okay? Which one of y'all are more productive and more valuable to society than her?
Well, you know what they're gonna say, Trigger Mike? Well, he probably whooping her ass. That's why she probably came home and cooked. He probably whooping her ass.
Say that they're better. They're going to say they're better because they do nothing and they do less. They think that being a better wife is doing nothing, doing the least. Doing the least in the modern woman's mind is being better than the woman doing everything.
No, they're gonna attack him as a man. They're gonna attack him as a man and say he's not doing enough for that, even though they don't know what he's doing.
Cooking, he was out with the side piece. They already try to find reasons to make this seem like they just try to make it seem like
don't know who he is.
And the women that are screaming the loudest are the ones that are taking themselves out of the game.
Let me get this advanced perception $2. Trigger Mike, they ain't ready for this conversation. They are.
Hell no, they're not.
But let me tell you why that it's actually a good thing, because they can get their excuses ready. But the one thing that I've noticed is that they literally, all of their excuses they don't hold water to the actual situation, because what women lie a lot. I don't know why y'all do it, because nothing y'all say stands against nature. Everything y'all swear that y'all can change your mind enough to go against your nature, which we know is not true. Right? So a woman saying women are making the decision to be alone, that's cap. Women y'all literally cannot be alone. You can't do it. You're pretending that you don't want a relationship while filling up your bed with a nigga that's going to get you pregnant twice so you can ask him for child support. Y'all literally cannot be alone. That is cap. So nature dictated that y'all couldn't do it.
And that's the thing, Trigger Mike. Like, women are saying, I wouldn't come in and do that, and what, a servant? Ooh, that's a slave. Okay, then. So she comes in on her husband serving him, and that's slavery. But you a slave to the dick. Let's be honest. Every time you go and have sex with a different man, and your body count look like the people McDonald's have served, you have submitted yourself and enslaved yourself into having sex with a whole bunch of men. Why are we choosing? This is the problem I have. Why are women choosing
being single?
Right. Why are women choosing to say, I'm going to go and flip all the dick I can? They should have a damn channel for HD Dick TV. They flipping all the dick they can, but they're not making a home. They're not trying to be married. They're not trying to be in a relationship. And then you want to clown the women who are working hard, who are adding to their husband, who want to come in and fix their husband something to eat after a 12, 13-hour shift. Man, get the fuck out of here. You're going to be single forever.
Let me say this, BMU, because what I was also saying, another point that I'm going to make is that they talk a lot to the point where I used to believe they were talking with such vigor and they were talking so loud that it was like I believe what they were saying when they said. Now I've realized that I'm intelligent enough and I have enough data to put every single thing that they say to the test in real time, because women are getting it out here. And Payne even said it on the last episode. Y'all aren't getting it like y'all are talking about. How could you possibly be out here doing better than a married woman of 20 years? Like, how could you possibly be doing better than her? She is a part of a unit. You're an individual. Y'all can never be doing better than these people. I got 6,000 homes in this neighborhood. It's all families. I don't see single people walking around here. So how could y'all possibly say y'all own more real estate? How can you say your car is better? How can you say all this shit when literally every bit of wealth globally that's earned by women is belongs to a married woman, not a single woman? Y'all take the small examples of the few women y'all know doing well and try to extrapolate it out like all of y'all are doing that shit. Most of
the
y'all
chat,
credit,
the chat will help you, Trigger Mike. The chat
yeah,
will check. Just look at the chat right now.
like no, most of y'all credit is freaking terrible. Let's get
But
that
they had
out
their
of
credit
here
though, Trigger.
right now, because this is actually something that's really interesting. Since I took upper management positions, I'm getting emails that somebody is looking for some of my instructors who are supposed to be making all this money with these people behind on student loans. They're behind on car payments. They got bill collectors looking for them, payday loan people looking for them. I'm like, this is not my job. I'm not supposed to be taking care of shit like this. You see what I'm saying? This is the who owns most of the consumer debt in the United States of America? Women. So they're out here
Women. That's what I
pretending.
was saying earlier.
They're out here pretending like they're doing well. There's no way y'all could be doing better than women that got their shit together, that got their life organized, and all of that. And those are married women.
What's up, Trigger
And
Mike?
go
But
ahead.
Trigger, this is how some these women
Hold on
look
real
at it.
quick. Greek 12 in the back. Go ahead and cam up real quick. I've never seen this name before. Cam up real quick so I know you're a real person, and I'll let you up.
The
Trigger,
women who are
they
doing a little
feel
bit
like
decent,
But,
they
but we're
spending
missing
everything to
I
try to
got
show that they doing better.
we're missing some key components here in this conversation, gentlemen. And I'm going to speak briefly. See, the art of war is before you go to war, you check your resources, right? See if you got enough ammunition, enough strong men, strong fighters, right? Put everything together. And then you say, okay, we got enough to go out and fight, correct? Is everybody agreement with that?
Mhm.
And this is what these women have done, right? They used our own tactics against us. They got all these men behind them, these simps. They got all these people backing them, and they have aligned with the LGBTQ, et cetera, et cetera. They are moving in a way. We know that the Queenmakers, she's starting her movement. We got Cynthia G. Ben had her movement, and then you got men on the other side supporting all of this from behind by giving them resources to move like this. So a house divided against itself can't stand. So we can go ahead and ask and demand these women to be what they're supposed to be if we're all moving on the same page. But the problem is, as men, and respect to our pain and marriage and Trigger Mike, respect to you guys. But we're not moving. All the men ain't moving in the same light with each other. We don't even like each other halfway on these panels. We just seen our pain get jumped the other day on Fight Club, right? We don't all align. And
I ain't going to no Fantasy Island.
As long as we are
She
divided,
jumped on my back and did a front flip and kicked him in the chest.
as long as we're divided as men, right, and not moving in the same realm or the same alignment, the women will continue to push because they have allies behind them that supporting them. And even if, like you said, Trigger Mike, to your point, you're correct. They own a large debt. But guess what? There's somebody gonna come and save them. There's a guy's on, I'll take care of you.
So even in that ruthless truth, that's really what I'm talking about. So
yeah,
they have support. Like their actual goal. Women actually have
It don't
goals
work
that
without
make
the
no
men.
sense. Exactly. They have goals that don't make sense because we as men, at least good men, we're in the pursuit of truth. And really, if I could describe men, we just want shit to work. You see what I'm saying? We just want things to work. So when we're talking, I'm talking about something with an actual end goal of working. It's not really about me. What makes this system work better? That's what I'm about.
Yeah.
Women don't have that goal. Their goal is to be right. Their goal is to be the loudest and to win the argument. So what I'm saying is no matter how much support of simps they have and nothing that they do actually has substantial meaning. So a simp can align with you, but his goal is to get sex from you. It's not to take care of you. He gonna leave you with that baby.
And the
nothing they do works
LGBTQ
without the
men
backing
get
of a man.
right, and the LGBTQ men they're learning what not to do as a woman and becoming a woman, trying to be better than your ass too.
So it's exactly you see what they did there. They usurped the woman thing, try to act like they were in alignment. So that's what I'm saying. They actually don't get the outcomes they claim they're getting. Because
that's why we don't have to worry about those movements. That's why we don't have to worry about the Queen Maker movement. And what you said, a bunch of lesbians getting together. Listen, you gotta ferret out the women you want and stop trying to save the women who want to go wayward. That's where the frustration comes in. The guys want to have all of these women in line, and we waste too much energy trying to put them in formation. That shit. Just find the women that want to be in formation and use your energy and finding those women, and let the other ones die on the vine, man.
So to your point, Arpain, and I'm not in disagreement with you. But here's the problem, right? I have children, y'all have children, grandchildren coming up, and these women are being tainted. These women are being corrupted. These women are no longer, and they're growing by the second, right? This corruptness. So therefore, you're saying right now, okay, do it. What about 10, 15 years from now? These women are going to be trying to put dog chains around our necks and trying to lead us to the
on your point, though. On your point, this is just another kind of thing you have to teach your kids not to do. Just like we had to do before. Before it was this kind of movement, we had to teach our sons not to become drug addicts or give them stuff so they could be productive citizens and learn the right way. This is just another kind of thing.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, Ruthless. I'll say this.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, Ruthless. I'll say this. The one thing that we have to stop doing as well is thinking we can save everybody. I was naive enough to think that at some point. Let them die. And the reason why we don't want to say that is because they are corrupting children. And sometimes it's a man who, this woman got custody of your children and she's corrupting them. But for the greater society as a whole, every society that's ever rebuilt itself from catastrophe is be like, those degenerates over there, let them die. They're literally going to be a cautionary tale in a history book to say, this is what these women did apart from their men. The part that I really feel like is so stupid, and I have to use that word. The part that I feel like is so dumb is that if you think you can build anything without the ethnic group of your men, you are silly as hell. So Queen Maker's feminism without hold on. This is what's going to happen.
Like that again. Don't make me look like you.
Look, this is what I'm saying. Somebody said they got Cynthia G.
Go
ask these women, other than making you feel good in the moment. God damn. Okay. Queen Maker, her narrative, Cynthia G's narrative, other than making them feel good about themselves and their situation as women, ask them their actual outcomes for what they're saying. Remember, these women hated Kevin Samuels, but I don't know if y'all were a part of the Kevin Samuels Facebook group. People were actually getting married in there. Even in the Lapeef group, people got married in there because of these talks about relationships and what their ultimate goals were. Go to Cynthia G's chat, ask any of them, and the delusional ass women are getting married based off the advice they're giving. Or actually, hold on, what is Queen Maker's narrative? Take control of the dynamic of your relationship. You are the head of your household. Go ask her how well that's working for her.
But she's a lesbian, though, isn't she?
That's what I'm saying. Y'all let somebody.
An idiot would listen to that shit. Only an idiot would listen to that.
And my thing is, you're a grown-ass woman with your hat turned. You're a grown-ass woman with your hat turned back with some overalls on, talking about, well, women don't need to do this because
she just wants to be a man.
I just want, I mean, we ain't gonna be bowing down to no man, and that's what I teach my ladies. Oh, get the fuck out of here. You fake MC-like looking bitch. We're not even trying to even deal with you.
If you want to see a change, if you want to see a serious change, number one, it's going to have to come from women. And number two, the type of force that feminism brought, which was a lie, saying that men and women are equal, there's going to have to be a revert, a snapback, a counter narrative that's just as powerful that says, all feminism taught you lied. It didn't get you what you wanted. Look at how old you are. Look at the result. Look at what we're doing. Look at what works over time. This is what happened in the 1800s, 1900s. Go back or forward in time as far as you want. But the results are going to have to be shown in real time to younger women who still have time to make a wise choice rather than the 30s and 40-year-olds who are too naive.
But here's the problem.
What is
But
gonna take is the
what
men to
what I
turn
think. I
on
had
them.
an
women
opportunity.
don't
I had an
care about
opportunity to
that.
talk to an
Please.
18-year-old at the gym,
Here's the one problem,
and
right?
I think
When you
I,
got
I, hang on.
a systemic system pushing the narrative to push women narrative out there, right? Which is America. It is very difficult. Now, this is why our women is out of order because they're out of order because the system allows them to be out of order. And the only way you're going to bring things back to order, whether in your race or whatever, is by one way. It's through the history. Through the history, that is, and I hate to say it, but by violence or some threat of violence. If you're not doing that, and I'm not saying you are, then what the women going to look at you? How's she going to respect you when she can look at you? I call 911 on you and get you out the way. So what are you? Who are you?
I think we got to let the poison run its course. I had the pleasure of talking to two 18-year-olds in the gym, and they didn't. I was surprised. I expected modern. I don't need a man. You know what I mean? Like, I can't wait to get to college. It was the exact opposite. They both had boyfriends. They both couldn't wait to get married. They both couldn't wait to have kids. They, college. Yeah, they wanted to go to college, but that was just sort of a thing. It wasn't really, it wasn't really a priority to them. Both of them, their priority was having a family. And I was shocked because I just expected something completely different. I think that there is a younger group that's coming up that doesn't agree with what they see. They don't agree with what they see from the women, and I think we kind of probably gonna have to let this poison just kind of run its course, and maybe look at the younger generation of women who I think are not agreeing with what they see.
Yeah, so society always corrects
but that's
itself. An old head told me that shit, and now it's really showing. But here's the worst part about it: men stayed silent for too long. Plus, we were handicapped by not having actual media outlets to talk about this stuff. So think about all of these red pill people they're talking about. Andrew Tate. Remember, kids are not stupid. So now there are boys and men looking at like the attacks on Andrew Tate, and you could be like, "Well, I don't agree with everything he says, but what did he actually do wrong?" It's like, you see what I'm saying? They're like, what did he actually do wrong for them to be attacking him like this?
Hey, Trigger Mike, you know what's crazy? You know who's the number one selling artist right now in their concert venues? Beyonce. Beyonce. And she's
a married woman.
Strong point. So therefore, and she's selling out so much that they're asking her to do other concerts in between because all her shit's booked out, and all these females are falling in line with that shit.
So no. This is a good thing, though, Ruthless. You're forgetting. This is a good thing because this shows you this actually helps our cause. Women have to lose, and then realize the person that they was listening to doesn't live the lifestyle that they're telling you to live. Beyonce is married. Go home to her husband after the concert. Who's the idiot? Beyonce or the women that listen to her? You see what I'm saying? Like, so you have to like, we gotta be really understanding that that's what's there for them at the end of the day. Like, well, what's selling right now is this independent talk. So I'm gonna sell them this independent talk. Then go to my husband because I wouldn't be caught dead doing some of the shit that they do.
It's gonna take the men turning on them because when the men turn on them, that's their firepower. Nothing gets done without the backing of the man. So we see that right now with the LGBT men turning on them. And what the rest of the women do, they turn to the men and say, help us. So that's the major thing that's going to happen that turns everything around. Now, will it happen our generation or the next? I don't know about all that. But in order for anything to change, it's going to have to go that way.
Right, and men gonna have to get to the point they're gonna have to get to the point they start saying no, and we gotta start calling out these simps that are trying to save these hoes that don't have no abilities, no features, no nothing. They don't want to cook, they don't want to clean, they don't want to nurture, they want to be the boss, they want to be independent. And these men out here, you leave them alone. No, we need to get your ass out the way, and you go over there with them. Then you put your dress on with them. Then.
BMU, let me say this. We don't even have to call out the simps, bro. We feel so like we hate them because of what we know they're doing. But I like all of this now. I want it to keep happening. I want the simps to keep siding with them because we also got to be real. Simps will never stop siding with women if they think they're going to gain sexual access from them. Exactly. That's always been around. They are literally messing with our sloppy seconds. I don't give two shits about it. So they are seeing that the woman is looking at me. I'm no longer looking at the woman. Therefore, he's going to tell her she's Queen Mother God so he can get her attention for a little while. They're never going to stop doing that, trying to pick up the sloppy seconds of the dudes who bout something, right? But the good thing, like we keep saying, is that something is going to happen and things are going to happen in society where women are going to look at the choices they made. They're going to look at what's being aligned with, and this is going to happen in natural fashion. I always give y'all the example of women love going to brunch on Sunday. On the rare occasion that me and my wife get a babysitter or something and we decide to go back out and live that life, I go ahead and get suited and booted. Her hair is done, or we call other people up, other married folks, and we all go out together. The single women who are there enjoying life at that table of 12, all right, those single women they were all enjoying themselves till they seen our table, until they see the table of married people.
But to this point,
you see what I'm saying? They all enjoy themselves till they see me loving on my wife, and they're like, "Oh, look at this lady, she's so well
and
put
they go
together."
back home to their
That
dog.
is the life. Every single one of them realized at that moment that's the life they missed out on.
But at the same point, at the same time, us men, how we carry ourselves on these panels and out here on these streets, got to be better. We got to be better, because how are we going to ask for something and we don't respect ourselves? And the women looking like, why should we respect y'all? If y'all don't respect yourself, y'all can't even have a conversation about
that.
Yeah,
let me give you some pushback on that.
I got some Trigger Mike still in Fight Club, so let's not.
Hold on. No, that's what I'm saying. I got some pushback on that. I got pushback on that. Anything that man
for jobs as wives, and I'm realizing that there's a standard to be met in order to qualify for a position, then the standards will start to change. Right now, we're trying to accept anybody and just work with what we got. When that's not no good anymore, and we say no, we do deserve better. We ain't changed. We're still going to have to do everything we don't want to do in order to make things work. You're going to have to do the same, and it's not part of being a slave or a servant. It's part of being a functioning, responsible adult.
Yeah, men still trying.
Right, and I'm gonna have some pushback on my brother Ruthless up there when he said about the men respecting anything that has ever been built since the beginning of the time. It took men to do it. And men have not always seen eye to eye. Men are going to bump heads. They're going to argue. Have you ever sat in Congress and senators and watched the motherfuckers damn near come to blows, and then they'll pass a law and go have a cup of coffee together? That's the way men have always been. They're always going to bump heads and be angry. What you're seeing is men having differences of opinion. And if a woman looks at that and see a man standing his ground or what he believes in, and she looks at that as a negative, then that's another woman we could throw in the trash.
No, I'm not against what you're saying.
This is why women have traditionally not been in our spaces.
I'll respond to that real quickly.
So let me say this, because one thing I love to see them do is when they be like, "Oh, look at these men arguing on the panel." Men have always argued differences of opinion. It always argue. What you don't seem to notice is that we come back to the same place, greet each other, and argue some more. That's something y'all can't do.
I'm agreeing with y'all, but this is the thing, right? And healthy discord that's just part of building. But when it comes down to slandering and shaming people's financial situations, or because they can't win a debate, or trying to uplift the women to make the guys look bad, or put all the blame on the man, and all these things right here is not productive, right? It's actually anti-production. So therefore, I'm just saying, if we're going to be on here like this, like today is a very good discussion, right? We've been very productive on the discussion. I know, look, our Payne trying to get his win back, but it's okay. He cool now. But we for the most part are having a very productive conversation. But we need to get more consistency and alignment on more of these panels, because that way, once again, nothing wrong with a discord, right? But when it comes to slandering and disrespect, that is unacceptable.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But Trigger, to my point, like they rather have the brunch with their girlfriends. Like they feel like being in a relationship that it's gonna get took away.
How old are you again? Let me
32.
That's what. Well, even at that age, I used to think that too. Because remember, I told you I don't know how they can lie so much with a straight face.
But that's what I'm
Bro,
saying. Like
hold on.
that's what they do.
When
They
you
lie
get,
to
when you
themselves.
get married, or even before, when you get married, you're gonna be laying next to your wife, and her phone gonna ring. You're like, who the fuck calling my wife at this time? It's going to be her friend who is having a panic or anxiety attack in the middle of the night because she's single and she'll think she'll never get a man because y'all just left. We all just left a wedding the day before. Listen,
Trigger,
they are lying, bro. They're lying through their teeth. They go home and cry on that goddamn pillow, then try to put a brave face on these panels, bro. They
But that's what I'm saying. Too. Not all of them. Like some of them, act like this Priscilla. These they don't get that she giving out a story and she doing the total opposite. And they women real deal. I'm not some. All most of them they real deal believe that they would rather buy and own stuff without a man paying for it because they feel like being in a relationship that you may take it back or you are just this demon that's gonna do them in. Like this just from I have seen it so many times. Like this how I don't know where they got it from. I feel like their mama taught them this. Like they real deal looking out for the man that gonna take it from them, and that's how they truly believe.
Ashton, those women are delusional as fuck. Let me tell you why.
They
Because
are.
they're listening to hold on. They're listening to their delusional ass mamas. I guarantee you a large amount of those women that you're talking about, their mamas are single with no man. With no man. And so you can go buy all the land you want. You can go buy you a 4-bedroom house. But when you're 60 years old and you ain't got no kids coming to you for Thanksgiving or Christmas or to come give you a hug and say, hey, grandmama or grandpapa, that shit gonna kick in. It's gonna kick in.
Ashton,
You're gonna die.
let me get him now, Ashton. So I don't know.
I ain't saying my woman trigger. Don't.
I'm gonna take accountability for this because I didn't really hear this word being used before I used it. Foresight. Women do not exercise any foresight, bro. Men do. We naturally have the ability to kind of be like, I ain't doing that shit because that shit ain't turned out well for BMU when he told me. And he was very candid about telling me about his experience. And I think if I do that shit might end up the same way. We exercise foresight because we kind of have to. Every move we make could possibly end up homeless from every move we make. So we have to exercise a bit of foresight. Okay, women don't do that. So the number one tendency of women, the number one psychological tendency of women is to change their mind. That's why they never know what they want to eat, even though they say they're hungry. You see what I'm saying? So the number one tendency of them is to change their mind. So yes, a woman can feel in that moment on that day, I am happy being single. She's probably talking from trauma because of the way her last baby daddy left her. Okay, and he's not picking up the phone right now. That's how she feels that day. Then that brunch situation I just told you about, the day she sees me sitting there loving on my wife and me and all our friends laughing around the table, again, she's going to change her mind again that day. Now she wants to be in a relationship again and or marriage. That's how they are, bro.
Trigger, I get your point. I feel you. I know you think that they thinking they want that, but I'm telling you, they probably over there saying you probably beat on your woman or you gonna take some. I'm just Trigger. I'm just telling you like that's what I see. I'm just saying this.
I'm saying that I have the advantage of that not being true.
Let me ask you.
What you say, Trigger?
Hey, Ashton, what do you expect? What do you want us to do about that? What do you want us to do about that?
But that's what I'm saying, Payne. Like it's nothing that some men can do to fix it. Like I real deal see that a lot of women have their vision. Like it's no changing them.
Okay, so that's the point. That's the point. We already spent more energy than we need to on women that we can't save. So we don't even have to worry about that. Whatever that movement becomes, which I don't think is a movement is not the right word.
Payne, listen to me. It's already here, Payne. It's already here.
Yes, that's right. That's why we can't do anything about that. That's why we got to move on with the women who are willing. So the point is, Mike, you made a point about the hindsight and the foresight. Very, very anecdotal. Last night at my dinner table, my daughter, she's 24. She just got a raise on her job. She's living with us, right? She's 1 year out of college. So she just got a raise, her second one, by the way. She's doing well. She's doing all that kind of stuff. But I talked to her about hindsight and foresight. I said, listen, you're 24 now. And I already had a conversation there. My goal is to find somebody, and for you to find somebody, a man that's worthy of you being his wife. Okay. Right? I said, and here's the reason why. Here's one of the reasons why, because I'm sitting with my wife next to me. I said, you probably can't see yourself when you're 40 and 45. That's why I'm here. I'm trying to tell you
Yep.
that you, no matter how successful you get, when you hit those ages and when your biological door closes, you're not going to be thinking the way you think right now. You're not going to be, if it wasn't, your man has to tell you that whether you get married or not, because she's straight, she likes men and all this kind of stuff, and whatever she's going to do, whatever she's going to do, but she's staying with me. So financially, I told her a couple things. One, if you don't get married, you got to be rich as fuck. That's one thing. If you never get married, you got to be rich, because you ain't going to be able to take care of yourself by yourself unless you're rich. That's one. So let's just say, better for you to be married, have a guy that can take my job, somehow somebody to cover you. I said, but right now you're thinking as a person in the here and now, like most women do. And for the first time, she actually was listening, right? So in the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, your mindset is going to grow and change. And if you have a biological imperative that you don't fulfill, and that door actually closes, you're going to feel some kind of way. And most people regret when they get older. People look at the list of regrets. You don't want that one to be one of them unless you're absolutely sure. Unless you're absolutely sure and you've had some kind of way to reconcile the fact that you're going to transition to be a woman without a family. Because you saw your mother for your whole life light up on every goddamn holiday when you and your sister were around her for those holidays, for those meals, for those things. So I just said, you got to keep that in mind. Tell both of my daughters that. But
I actually agree with that, because that's really what dads are for. And I could tell my wife used to sting her when you see the way I talk on the show is the way I talk in the house. I don't, and you can believe that, because culturally, this is the way my dad talked to my sister. I see no problem saying this shit the way I say it. It's not going to get me any pushback. I talked like this when we were dating, and I think she just kind of took it like, these Nigerian people fucking crazy. Like, what? He just be saying shit like that, but she decided to marry me anyway. So that's her damn fault if she got a problem with it. And one of the things that I say, and I'll say it in front of everybody, I got sisters-in-law that like to challenge me about the stuff I say on the show, and I'll tell them straight up. And this is actually a good lesson for most women. You are going to watch everything that we're saying manifest itself in true form in real life. So when I say my children would be fucked up without me here, that doesn't mean their mom can't raise them. She just can't discipline. They don't have a chance at being the same exact type of person without me here. It's not possible. If you see the way my children respond to commands, 4 and 5 year old, yes, sir, and they don't miss. If one of them doesn't say it, the other one corrects them. That doesn't happen without me here. Women don't have that natural ability and capability to impress upon children like that. My presence, walking in the room when they don't know I'm there, makes them like fix their feet. Like, oh shit, what am I doing? Am I doing something wrong? You see, moms don't get that response from children. I do. So understand that we're saying this because we've been given a gift the same way you've been giving your gifts, and we have to listen to those. When I have to go to my wife about something dealing with the child on a nurturing sense, and I can't sense it. She has that sense that something's wrong with the baby. Something psychologically going on with them. They came out of her body. I'm listening. I don't got that sense. You see what I'm saying? I'm listening. Hey, what's wrong with him? He's really silent today. You think, yeah, I'm looking into it. I think something went down at school. I'm going to call the teacher. Like, I'm watching her like this is the gift she's been given. I need to lean on that. I need to respect that. Right? So look at our gifts as men. Y'all don't know the future. We're telling you and trying to tell our daughters, when you finally realize that you should have took relationship. Let's stop talking about marriage. It scares the shit out of people, because even at work, you need to be somebody who knows how to properly manage relationships. And that's where most people, men and women alike, are suffering. Let me get the next question. And Black David, you're going to go first on this. Let me get these super chats too, by the way. Mr. Rich, $5 says,
number one
enemy to our children is the secular rainbow movement. Indeed, and they can't have them. The worst part about this is that they mess with the right ones. If they'd have kept it in the realm where it could only be affected by radical leftists and women, they might win something. The second it starts to come into the realm of dads, we will delete somebody to make sure that shit doesn't happen. So they're not going to get our children as long as dads are around. advanced perception too. Unfortunately, dads aren't around in a certain community, so if you see what I'm saying, then that's unfortunate. But advanced perception, $2. Women think every man is Alan Johnson, aka Mister. As a matter of fact, not only is this true, they think that's what a man turns into after he gets married. But they're bending over for every man, so they damn sure don't think he's Mister at that time. But anyway, I'll land my plane there. My man CBN Talks. Let me get you this question, because the doctor in that video that we're talking about today that worked a 13-hour shift and cooked for her husband, we have to realize that when we start these narratives and we just kind of let them go. But I want women to understand something right now. That woman is a doctor, and yes, a surgery resident is going to work, I believe, on average 18 hours a week. I'm sorry, 80 hours a week. When you whittle down the hours they work, it's literally like minimum wage. So she's going to work 80 hours a week. So it's 100% possible as a surgery resident or a doctoral resident, MD or whatever, she's going to work those hours. But are most women even working 13 hours a day?
I'm glad you asked
In the hospital, yes, but that's where I got to keep coming in about the Nigerian that I was dating. Trigger, like they didn't want no man working 13 hours the same as them or more. Like they probably can get a man to marry at that age, but they didn't want them. From my opinion,
she has to work that as a resident. You have to.
Right. Let me answer this question.
But that's what I'm saying, Trigger. She don't want a man that work the same amount of hours or marry somebody that's always gone doing the same. She gonna feel like she alone, so she wants somebody that make less or got more time. Like,
and those are the wrong women, Ashton. Those are the wrong ones. Those are the ones that we're putting in the trash can.
Okay, but I still can't. I can't tell you that's how they feel.
No, you can tell them how they feel, but I'm saying those are the wrong ones. We need to let them, like Trigger Mike said, let them die.
Okay, so that means okay. I'm just telling you.
You know what? Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be vulnerable with you right now. Lord, I hope my wife ain't watching this. Listen, there was a young lady that, man, I just wanted her. But she was fine. She knew how to carry herself, well spoken. But at the time, I didn't know she had a nasty ass attitude, right? So I found she had a nasty ass attitude. She was negative, didn't want to do no talking. Now she was older than me too. Now she's 45-ish, 46. And the other day, I guess she didn't know I was married because I ain't seen her in years. The other day, she sent me hey, Big Ed, what you doing, boy? Oh my God, I ain't seen you so long. What you got going on? I sent her a message about absolutely nothing. Have a good day. Right? Because she's gotten to the point in her life that everybody done had the coochie, everybody done had the head, everybody done been to her house and knocked her back out. Now she's looking for somebody. Now she don't want nobody to go hard. She wants somebody to come and hold her and caress her and put her and hold her while she sleeps. And somebody can have some authority over her. It's too late. And like I be telling these women, I told my own sister this. It's time for you to go to Walmart on Saturday morning. They're giving away free puppies. Get you one. You're gonna need them. You're gonna need them.
Me and you, we agreeing on the same thing. I just don't see miscommunication.
Yeah. I'm just saying these. No, I'm not talking about what I'm just adding on to what you said. Like the ones that you describing, man, you gotta let them loose. You just gotta let them loose, man. Sometimes a dog gets so bad, you gotta take them out to a field and just let them go and drive off.
But Payne, that's what I'm saying. Like, you ask what can men do? Like, just my honest opinion. Like, I'm maybe around like where Trey said that he met two 18-year-olds. Yeah, they may have positive outlook and want a relationship now, but by the time that they hit college, maybe their second or third year, they real deal talking like Priscilla. I don't know how, I don't know why, I don't know if it's their mama, but they turning out like this for some reason, and it's a lot of them. You have hope that it's good women out here, and I do too. But I'm telling you, some of those good women, they flocking and want to hang with those same women that's got that negative narrative about men, and they end up falling in that bush.
And actually,
Yeah,
one
I
of the
mean,
problems that we have as black men is that we have this scarcity mindset with women. We got to stop that. There's no shortage of women out there. And if you have to expand your horizons to find the one that you want, that's what you got to do. I mean, we can't. I mean, this whole notion that we got to go on this crusade to save women from themselves is crazy. We can't do it.
Our pain.
We just can't
Okay,
do it.
but that's what I'm saying, Pat. You asked, what can us as men do? There's literally nothing that we can do.
No,
These
yeah,
women
that's
are
wrong with you.
falling
Not
in
with
line
them.
with the
Not with
bills.
those
Pain, this is
women.
what you're
Not
missing
with the
on.
women who want to be
Our
corrupted.
pain.
We can't do anything
so
about that.
let me
This is
say
what
this
you're
though,
missing,
Ash.
our
Let me
pain.
say this though. I talk a lot of shit, and my number one group of viewers are women, bro. There's a lot of stuff you could do because outside of what they're saying, remember, they can't argue with results. Have y'all ever noticed that most of the people that even come up to speak life into any situation are like married men? We
Yeah.
come at like we are the people that come up to be like, no, we're taking responsibility. And this is real interesting because I was watching, I think, Fight Club when y'all say everybody jumped on Pain. I was in agreement with Pain. And one of the things that one of the things that you have to do, is literally to be able to take, because y'all see me do it on panels, I'll take you all on. Because all of y'all fucking narratives is flawed. Only men really have the capability to do that. Right? The women are going to cave. They're going to acquiesce to these women that you say that they want to be like, but they will never achieve the results they actually want. And by the time they figure that out, the people that were trying to tell them will be years into whatever correct decision making they're into, and these women will realize I ain't started shit, and I'm out here still talking.
Here's the thing,
Right? They
right,
don't
Sugar
get
Mike.
the results, bro. At the end,
Here's
that's
the thing. Here's
the caveat. You can be on whatever side you want to be. You can be as liberal. You can talk as much trash as you want. You will never have the same results as the person who did it the right way. So they're gonna have to accept that shit too.
Here's the thing, Trigger Mike. But like to our Pain's point, a scarcity mindset is not a mindset. Every man wants more than one woman, at least at attractive wise, right? But they're not looking to be with all of those women, right? Most men want to build something that's meaningful. So therefore, there's not a lot of women out there to do that with, our Pain. There's not a lot of women like that anymore because women are pushing the independence, and they are
ruthless.
They are moving in a way where they are building their lives like they don't need a man. So therefore, the men who are pursuing them, we are pursuing them. They are saying, okay, if you want to pursue me, then they want to pretty much dominate the way it's being pursued, right? They want to delegate to you how they are to be pursued, which is not necessarily the best option for you. So what my man down there is saying is that, yeah, and to your point, there's a lot of plethora of women out here, millions of women out here.
Yeah.
But there's only one that you want.
Yeah,
and to
you
find
gotta
that
go
one,
to
Let me
and
say
find
this
that
to
one,
Rufus.
hold on,
Let me say this to
I'm
Rufus
gonna let it, I'm gonna
and
let it.
answer
To
Anissa's
find that
question at the
one,
same time.
to find that one is a fucking mission.
Well, so
Let me answer
though?
this question or this statement rather from Anissa. Nobody's jealous of y'all. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. If you want to, let's talk about women for a second. Do you think that most men and women want their own home, like a fly ass house? We all watched Cribs when we were young. Who owns houses? Husbands or single niggas? Wives or single women? Who owns homes? Exactly. Okay. And if you aren't married, only 14% of women own homes. Without being married, only 9% of men, because men would not dare buy a house that they don't live in without a family.
Without a family.
Okay, so used to say that nobody's jealous of us. I disagree. Now, do women want men with money? Yes, we can. Yes. Who owns the majority of wealth globally, not just in the United States?
But there's a caveat
What group
to
of
that.
men? Married men. So to say that they're not jealous of us, that's complete cap.
It's
Everybody, when you look, 80% of Fortune 500 CEOs are married. Most men want to be those men. They're absolutely jealous of men who are organized and got their life together. They're absolutely jealous of men that buy better cars than them. They're absolutely jealous of men that own properties. They're absolutely jealous of men with Roth IRAs and stock investments. They're absolutely jealous. I see it every day when I walk out the house. A nigga just staring at me being like, how he put himself together this clean? How he get his children to listen to him like that? Why his wife listening to everything he say when he say it? They are absolutely jealous of us. Y'all don't diminish my value on my very own show.
I'm just telling you, like these women that I'm telling you got this negative impact. They see your wife listening to you, but I'm telling you, they going in the back of their mind saying, "Oh, she really not happy." I'm sure
Man,
of it.
who cares?
Okay, but I'm saying this, they making it up. I get what you're saying, Trigger. We have our shit on lock as men, but some of these women, they just have this negative input just so they can stay single. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that let me say what I'm ultimately saying, Ashton. Women have to pretend to down talk what they have not achieved. I'm not stupid enough to do that. If I was somebody who wasn't taught how to be married, I would still value and see the marriage and see the value in it. They're doing that because it's something. It's something they have not achieved. Therefore, they have to pretend they don't like it. But rather than concern themselves, how do I become a person that can add value to a marriage, that can serve in a marriage, and ultimately learn how to be successful in it? They spend all their energy pretending they don't like it. And because there is a coalition of women pretending, you see, pretending that they're better off single. You have to do this, Ash. Look, you hit me up. Remember when you were like, I'm new to YouTube and I'm trying to do this thing? I'm gonna give you 3 more months, and I promise you, your goddamn opinion is gonna change. Here's why. Don't listen to what the women say. Look at how they behave, and you're gonna slowly change your opinion.
Don't make it anecdotal. I was just giving you an opinion. Don't do me like that, Trick.
I'm gonna give you 3 more months, bro, and look at how the women behave, and then you're gonna realize they're all cap. They want to be in relationships. Hold on, just like anybody, they want to be in relationships. They just want them to be successful. They're so afraid to make a mistake. They're so afraid to be a catastrophe, to be the one that failed. They have to pretend like the whole system is fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta listen, but be mad.
That's facts. That's
But
facts.
that's what I'm saying, Trigger. I ain't saying it's my home. I'm just saying to answer Payne's question. He making it seem like it. What can mean? Like these women are just tarnished. Like I don't know. I don't know if it's their moment. I don't know what. But that's.
You know, my point, Ashton,
Trigger Mike. Me and Trigger Mike was on the panel last night.
Aren't worthy. Those are eliminators. You find a woman that doesn't meet your criteria, move on to the next one.
Like I don't want to. I'm just telling you.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand why you guys keep wasting time with women that don't fit your needs.
I haven't get the chance to answer this question. I got interrupted. So I'm losing my patience right now. I'm about to play African mode up in here.
Go ahead, CBA.
Okay. At the question when asked, do most women ever work 13 hours plus a day beside the hospital? Hell no. I've worked in a hospital. I've worked in 2 fashion companies. I've worked in multiple banks, insurance companies, NYPD, Board of Education. It's not all the time to work multiple hours past 13 hours a day. Now, in some corporate sector, they have what they call the quiet room for women, mostly for mothers, which by chance they spend maybe 30 minutes to an hour break just to get their mental health in order. So I don't see that really actually happening. Majority of the time in most technical jobs, men are working past 14, 15 hours a day. Worst case scenario, 16 hours. I've done 16-hour to do security back in the day, double shift back to back, 3 days in a row, which is ridiculous. At one point, I did a 23-hour shift, which was illegal. But women don't go beyond 13 hours on a regular unless they are conditioned for it. Most women don't do that. Maybe a very few could, but most don't. So I don't believe in that. Or they can work as much hours as men do, and they'll not be on pills. Talk about their anxiety disorder or stress disorder or whatever disorder they're going through. Should I carry on?
No, you good, bro.
Please, brother.
All right, be magic, my man. What's going on?
I didn't see.
Hey, how's it going?
All right,
Here it come. Be magic itself.
What's going on? What's going on, brother?
Bring it
It's the same. It's the same thing with me, man. I just don't get it. I'm with R Pain. I'm with Trigger. Why y'all after these? Why y'all still speaking on these raggedy women that ain't about nothing when there's so many other women out there that's
actually about something. I still don't get it. Y'all still want to come on here every day talking about these strags or whatever y'all want to call them nowadays. I just don't get it. The environment that I live in with my family, I know it's kind of anecdotal, but it's a family. It's a family environment.
It's anecdotal.
Everything is family oriented.
It's anecdotal.
I don't understand how y'all. It might be. I just don't understand.
Yes, it might be. It is.
Be magic. This is what I'm saying. I get where y'all coming from, but y'all.
Mike, tell about the panel we was on last night, Trigger Mike. Tell about what the women was doing. Come on, Trigger Mike. Don't be the man. Me and Trigger Mike was up there.
I actually had to leave, bro. You could even call that a rage.
I'm not on here.
I'm not saying there's no ratchet women, but there are good women. That's all I'm saying.
Where they at?
There's good women.
Okay. But be magic. You remember you called me out and said where my woman at last week, and my woman came right through the door. Did she not?
Are you committed? Where's your commitment? Where's your marriage?
You just studied.
Because we all know situationships come and go. I'm talking about real commitment with a woman. I'm talking about years of actually planning, organizing, actually going through trials and tribulations. Where's that at? We all can have a feminine.
You see how y'all be playing this word salad? My bad. You see how
it's back in 2012 when you met yours. All the way back in 2012.
I always hear men talk about traditional women, but they don't want to do no traditional things. Where's your traditional outcome? You got a woman. You say you got a woman. Where'd you lock that up? Where'd you jump that broom? Or however you want to do it. Where's that commitment,
brother? Why are you making it anecdotal?
Okay, I'm just saying. And then you just got another bouncing around situationship that men go through from one woman to another. Where's your legacy? Where's the commitment of the legacy and the lineage that you're trying to build with this woman?
I'm trying to figure out how to get on me. When I'm talking about
the one brought it up. Hey, R. Payne, did he not bring up what I said last week? He brought it up.
You brought it up, Ashton.
I can't read it. Oh my God.
Because this is what I'm about. I'm about family. I hear y'all talking about how y'all going through these struggles with these women. But if you really
don't do that, be man.
I didn't say you. I said on these panels. I said y'all. When
you ain't no other young nigga on here with me and JP. Don't do that, be magic.
But when I say I'm talking about these panels, which I understand, the struggle might be real out there, but priority is still priority, and you still a man, and you still in charge of your own destiny. We still build civilizations. The last I heard.
That's where you're wrong at, B Magic.
Hey, go ahead. All right, I'm in charge of my destiny.
You better hope you don't
Big 12.
You better hope you don't lose your ass
on the topic.
And I still be in charge of my destiny.
I'm new to this, man.
This is my issue.
When y'all living, I ain't never seen so many men live in fear. That man said you better hope she don't leave you. We too busy working on things over here.
I wouldn't even say that. I would just say this is the only thing that I have to combat that. And I believe everything you saying, brother. You right as far as the legacy and picking the one woman. I'm just saying a lot of men today are looking for that. And a lot of the men that are talking like you are the men that are berating us and telling us why we ain't did this, why we ain't did that, when they did it in 2012 or earlier, and they did it 15 some years ago. And
you think we got you
gotta recognize the dynamics is a little bit different now. Now, have women changed all the way? No, I wouldn't say they changed, but it's more complicated than it was back then. It's a lot of more discernment you gotta use back then before when a lot of y'all got married.
JT, hold on. Know what the problem is?
I'm sorry, man.
Here what the problem.
Go ahead.
I've been telling throughout last year multiple panels. When the younger generation don't listen to their elders who understand the game, they understand the system. You have this back and forth that been going on for far too long. There's a reason why we African men, we have no choice but to listen to our elders. Because they've been here before us, number one. Number two, if we don't acquire that knowledge and that wisdom, we will end up repeating the same history all over again. And that the same generation complain about why they didn't tell us this, why they didn't tell us that. But when you have itchy ears and refuse to listen, when you think you know more than those before you, you end up repeating the same mistake they made, but they try to make sure you prevent you from doing that same thing. This is our biggest problem among black men in this nation.
I
We
agree
need to
with
stop.
you,
No,
but
hold on. I know, but right now I'm in African mode right now. I'm not in American mode. This is what needs to be done. We need to understand what is our game plan and how we're going to execute it. Whatever female that not fit your game plan, like Hank said, leave them at the restaurant. Ignore them. Don't pay no mind. Keep it pushing. If you keep on paying attention to them, then they're a distraction. That means you're not focused at hand. I don't have a problem ignoring a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I could care less. It did not fit my program. It did not fit my program. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm about solution based. They keep it pushing. You may go through 10,000 people who don't fit your program. Let them die on the wayside until you find that one. Don't waste your time. When you on your purpose, you on your grind, what you got to do, you will notice that one who won't fit in your program and she will follow you instead. That's trying to convince, you know that saying you can take a horse to the river to drink, but you're not going to drink the water? You ever heard that saying before? I can take the horse to the river, but I can't force the horse to drink. The thing applies to all the jabronis, the jackasses, the good for nothing assholes, the useless, mindless zombies that you call 3 or 4. If you cannot convince them to change, let it be. Leave them alone. Say adios, sayonara, surumagere, bye-bye, and keep it moving. Because if you keep doing the same thing, complain about the same thing over and over, guess what? You're getting them more power, you're getting more ammo, and they can feel like, oh, this is how men is really, they're weak. African men don't got time for that. You see who you are, we don't like you, deuces.
Good way to land.
But you know we on the same page now. Like
I know. I used to be
like this.
This is me. In high school, I don't like. This is me. Let me tell you something about me. In high school, I don't like.
Say something though.
I know.
Let Big 12 go. Let Big 12.
But to wrap it up, CBN, this is what I'm saying. You are giving African knowledge to American kids.
And it's totally different. That's all I want y'all to acknowledge. Can anybody acknowledge that it's not the same?
Can we let the brother go, man? He hasn't gone yet. Yeah, Big 12.
Hey man, salute. How y'all doing, man?
What's going on, brother?
Yeah, a lot of people make a lot of valid points, man. You know, like I think what CBN was talking about for 13 hours. Shit, the only women I know working 13 hours is studs, to be honest with you. You know, as far as the woman coming home and, you know, making dinner after 13 hours, you know, I'm married, man. As a grown man, I ain't gonna wait on 13 hours for, you know, goddamn food, you know, excuse my language, but, you know, I think one of the main problems is we ain't got no morals and values, man. You know, that's really what it boiled down to. You know, everybody talk about they want, you know, the woman to be fit and look like a supermodel and everything, but you know, just anecdotal, you know, the movie Color Purple, you know, most of the men out here trying to get with Suge Avery, but want them to act like Miss Seeley, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with marrying a woman that ain't a 10, you know. Get you a 6, you know, she might be the perfect one for you. You know, the Bible says we need to be evenly yoked. Ain't nobody evenly yoked no more. You know, everybody want to be millionaires. What's wrong with goddamn making 50,000, 60,000 and build together? You know, I don't got a lot to say, but you know, we all work together. Us as black people, man, all we do is goddamn argue and squabble. That's all we do, and make them dancing videos on YouTube and TikTok. We ain't building nothing together. On the real, men and women alike. We all we do is fight one another, in my opinion. You know.
Gotcha.
The men want to compete with the women want to compete like the men. You know.
I look at these youngsters with them dreadlocks. All of them look like studs to me. You know.
Man, I'm finna get on your ass. You know, stop that shit. Get this jigaboo out of here, Pain.
What I
JT,
said wrong.
JT, you want a model?
You see what I tell you? We don't do nothing but argue. We don't do nothing but argue and squabble.
JT, do you want a model?
What I say wrong?
Let me.
JT, do you want a model? Do you want a girl that's a perfect 10?
All you doing is arguing and squabbling.
None of us expect a girl that's. Men are we are the most realistic out of any creature on this planet. But this is what I want to say.
We look like a stud and we got dread, man. Nigga, we'll fight with your bitch ass. You don't get up out of here with that whole ass shit. Man, drop this nigga, Pain. Bring this nigga.
I ain't even gonna. I'm gonna let him have that. I ain't even gonna like that.
Tell me what I said. Tell me what I said wrong.
You didn't say nothing wrong. You just said your own opinion.
Hold on.
That was just his opinion, man.
Hold on.
I don't have no problem with that man's opinion.
Hold on. Calm down.
Nah, because he really just said nigga was good like stud and shit.
Hold on. Let's show respect among our brethren. What did he say that was wrong? Please.
What did I say? That's all I want to know. What did I say wrong?
Don't attack him. Attack it argument. What did he say that was wrong?
I'm gonna attack the argument. I'm gonna attack the argument.
Flea market and glasses on.
I'm gonna attack the argument. No, he good, Ashton. We're gonna leave it there. So this is what I'm always hearing on these panels. Is we hearing the men from the generation that fucked this world up telling the younger men fix it. That's what we always hear. We hear the men from the generation that fucked everything up and got it the reason the way it is deal with it, nigga. Just learn how to go around it, nigga. That's all we are hearing. And then all I'm asking, I ain't referring to you, brother. All I'm asking is for the men from that same generation to acknowledge that they fucked it up and acknowledge that it's a little bit different from us and acknowledge that y'all leaving the youngins to pick up the pieces. So even if we had the exact same discernment as y'all, we can acknowledge that most men ain't on their purpose. We can acknowledge that most men aren't leaders. We can acknowledge that most men aren't standing on principle and morals. But
I want to know what I live with. That's exactly what I led with was morals. That's what I led with was morals. So we agree. But I'm just trying to figure out what makes me a jigaboo. Because I was the same thing you talking about. Like I said, arguing squabble. Just arguing and squabble.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna finish. I'm almost done. Let me say this and I'm gonna finish.
JT, I think this nigga blind.
Go ahead, JT.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna finish. We can acknowledge that men aren't on their purpose, they aren't grinding, they aren't on principle and morals, but we cannot acknowledge that the exact same men that aren't doing these things are the reason that the men that are doing these things now having a harder time figuring out how to get a great woman or discerning the women that are good from bad, because we gotta also admit that even the women that are on their purpose, even the women who are being women, are scared to go against the women who ain't, who were created by the same dudes that we talking about.
I mean, okay, you made the point. Okay, let somebody else say. We've been on the panels a few times.
Man, kick your nephew off.
Why don't you hold on for a second, man?
I am, but I want you to kick your nephew off the fucking panel.
So Ashton, JT, you made this point, right? But we've told you a couple of times, right, that there were 304s back in my day, and there's 304s now. There were virtuous women back then, and there's virtuous women now. Back in my day, you might have had to go through 20 to find a one. You might have to go through 100. It's okay. That's the way life is. It's a little harder for you guys to find a woman you want because a lot of the good women look like the bad ones, and now a lot of the bad women look like rainbow women. So I can't help that. You can't blame that on the old heads because the women brought into feminism. So
we ain't blaming y'all.
If you want a wife, you gotta do what it takes to find one. You can't blame that on nobody else.
So we can't blame the old heads for the women being the way that they are today.
No.
We can't blame that on the
because
old
they were
heads.
jacked
So
up
they
when
was
we
just
were
like
little.
that. Okay.
Hold on.
What we went wrong?
I'm not blaming y'all.
So we blame the women for that then?
My brethren,
Somebody got to take the blame. That's
my
all I'm
brethren,
saying.
hold
Somebody
on.
got to take the blame.
My
The women
brethren,
taking the
hold
blame
on.
or the old heads taking the blame? One of them.
My
know
younger
who need to take the
generation and my
blame.
older generation, please hold on. I hear the argument, I understand the argument.
That is no
Here
argument.
we need to understand what's missing in this aspect of this argument. If you want to blame the old generation, you gotta understand which section of the old generation is responsible for it, because now the whole entire generation that mess up all the women. If I'm correct, what I've noticed in the 80s, having one group of men that a lot of women ignore for the longest are the nerdy, intelligent brothers who don't, quote unquote, have no swag or have no flavor or whatever you want to call it, or don't have what to draw their attention, or they have their intellect, right? But for some apparent reason, they don't get the love unless they go outside of their race. And when they do so, what the first thing they hear about them? Or they are sellouts. And I've heard that since the 80s. I've heard that since the 90s. I've heard that since the 2000s. And nothing changed.
True.
So let's be careful when we say blame the old generation. You have to understand which section of the old generation is responsible. Okay, last I checked, every generation it looks similar. But all that one small group of guys with quote unquote who got the swag, who got the gig, got whatever, that get most of the attention. The intelligent brothers who are hardworking, who don't be out late at night, who have been working all kind of odd jobs to make ends meet, they don't get the love they get from most females. But when they do get successful, who's following them? Women of outside the black community are following after them. But get what they get. Oh, they'll sell out. You can't marry a black woman. But when they're in college, when they're getting straight A's, getting a 4.0 GPA average,
KT,
you paying
you
attention to
believe in
those?
Omar Johnson. You believe in Umar Johnson.
I'm not blaming. I'm not blaming the Omar Johnson. I'm not doing the
I'm
Omar
asking
Johnson.
KT, do you believe in
Our
Umar
pain, our
Johnson?
pain, our pain. Trust me when I say this. Our pain, our pain. Trust me when I say this.
I'm
not doing the
just
Omar
saying
Johnson.
somebody generation dropped the ball,
might know
and
this
that
about it.
generation is the reason why that y'all are complaining about the men of today. One of
I
these
ain't complaining
generations
about
dropped the
the men
ball.
today. I'm telling you,
So
you
it's
guys
not a whole entire black men. Like I tell you, it's
you're
a
the
section
guys
of doing it.
complaining. I'm saying go out there and fish for the woman you want. That's what you gotta do. Stop bullshitting, man. Fish for the goddamn
You in
women
charge
you
of
want.
your own destiny. Point blank
Yeah,
period.
man.
That's it.
You know, that's what I'm saying to you. I don't give a shit what happened in the past. Fish for the woman you want. If they don't meet your criteria, move on.
I'm saying
don't
I ain't telling you to fix
Okay,
nothing.
okay. Let me say something real quick, guys. Let me address this generational stuff. The baby boomers came back from the war. The golden generation came back from the war, and they had the baby boomers. The baby boomers started the sexual revolution. Then after that was Gen X. Gen X just wanted to please women. They just wanted to do, soft songs, and some of them became rappers, cussing women out. Then the millennials came, the lazy generation. You see? And then the Jay-Zs are the loosed generation. So this has nothing to do with baby boomers, okay? Gen Z are very lazy. The women in Gen Z are tight pockets, prostitutes. The same with the late millennials, from the ones that were born in 1990 up to now, up to like 2000 to 2005. They are all hoes and bitches. So it has nothing to do with baby boomers. So we need to stop all this thing that your generation fucked up. No, that generation did the best that they could, but they had their own problem. But I got to tell you, if you give me the old generation and the new generation, I will take the old one, because these new ones, they are crazy. They are very, very crazy.
Why is this new generation crazy? That's my question. We keep saying,
guess
we keep
what?
talking
Guess
down
what?
on this
Guess what?
generation without you can't keep talking shit about the generation of today without acknowledging what the generation before set up for the generation of today to be like this.
And I just told you what they did. I told you what they did wrong. They were the loosed generation, because guess what? They came back, they wanted sexual liberation. They started this problem. You see what I'm saying? They started it, but the thing is that they are not bad. anywhere near bad this current generation. This current generation are very, very bad. They have
Yeah,
no
because they
shame.
started the
They have
problem.
no shame. Yeah, somebody
Probably
always going to
because a
start the
lot of
problem.
You
them
can't start
didn't have any
sexual
dads.
liberation. You can't start sexual liberation where you take your
And guess
bras
what?
off and then say that didn't
Guess
start the problem.
I said it. I said it before. They started the problem, but the thing is that the current generation made it worse.
And the
And then I
person
got
that
to do.
started the problem is the problem.
And guess what?
This
Let me
generation
also.
didn't decide to
Let me
wake up
also.
one day and say we're gonna be the worst generation out of
But
everybody. It didn't
but
happen
let me.
like that. It had to be
But
plays set
let
from the
me.
generation before to
Yeah.
cause this to be worse. That's what I'm saying.
JT, let me say something to you real quick. There is something that this current generation is doing that I like better than the previous generations. They started the conversation because of Kevin Samuels, right? They helped to accelerate it. They used the strength of the internet to bypass the media to get us, which is the late Gen X and early millennials, to actually push this message stronger than the old generation and the current generation, because my generation are the ones that are pushing harder because of Kevin Samuels and the guys and I would say Angry Man. So the good thing is this: we can't be pointing fingers on who did what and what happened. We are coming together now.
Oh, now we can't point fingers. We can point fingers at the women all day.
Can I just say one thing?
No. You gotta understand what I'm trying to say, JT. Because if you pay attention, you're gonna get what I'm trying to say. We as men can just only point fingers at what the men of the yesteryears did. We also have to get them to fight this fight, because they can't stand on the fence looking. Guess what? Because their daughters have to marry, right? Most of those generations, their daughters are not married. Most of these generations, the baby boomers, their daughters are home. They're not married. You know why? Because they raised these lazy ass women. Because they started that sexual revolution, their wives and their baby mamas raised these crazy ass women today. So if they want their daughters to marry, they have to now teach their daughters in their goddamn old age how to be a wife. I don't know how you're going to tell a 35-year-old woman to be a wife if you didn't raise her to be a wife. You see what I'm saying?
Or if you weren't a wife yourself.
If you want to wife yourself.
If you weren't a wife,
because guess what?
That's why we don't need to be talking about it.
But before you guys distract me from what I'm saying, they're in big trouble. Because like I said, you can't go back to teach somebody at 35 what you're supposed to teach at 10. What you're supposed to teach at the age of 10. Start grooming her how to be a wife. To hand her to a man that is supposed to become her groom, to groom her more. She already groomed by the streets. I don't know why they call men groom these days. We can groom women. How can I groom a 35-year-old woman? I can't groom a 35-year-old woman. So why is she a bride? She's not a bride anymore. She is fucked up. Like all these men. And I have to be a groom? What am I going to groom? You're going to groom a woman as somebody that the street already groomed, was a prostitute, had 10 body before she wanted to become a wife? How can you groom that? How can you groom something like that? Something that is psychologically and mentally damaged. How am I going to be a groom to her? So baby boomers, they're messed up. What they have to do, and they with the early Gen X, go back and get your daughters and teach them how to be a wife.
Hey, Gen X kids ain't that young.
I'm just hearing the next generation. I'm just hearing the next generation tell the generation that they supposed to have raised that they ain't shit. We get told that we not shit by the same generation that was supposed to make us shit.
What you're saying is that it's painful. It's painful. I agree.
I'm not saying it's painful. I'm just saying somebody dropped the ball and asking the Gen Z to pick the ball up and we just want to know who dropped the ball.
Hey, JT, you not lying, fam. You know, them baby boomers, they dropped the ball real bad. You know, crack in the 80s and all of that, man, it destroyed everything. So it's like a snowball effect, man. But you today as a man, you can't keep focusing on the past. You got to dig your feet in, young man. Dig your feet in, get your life together, and then you can worry about all that other stuff later. When you taking care of business on your own, your ancestors, your granddaddy, ain't none of them gonna be able to help you. Every man on this planet, I don't know who married, I don't know who got kids. Ain't nobody looking for granddaddy that dead. They looking for daddy. They looking for daddy and husband. All you can do is take care of what your responsibilities are. All that thinking about the past, it ain't gonna do nothing. We can blame it on a million different people. But the only person that's gonna affect is you, brother. That's it. That's all.
Oh no, I understand that. Trust me, I'm just speaking generation wise because I grew up with both parents in my home. I didn't have to deal with that. But I'm just talking about
facts. You speaking facts though. Yeah, you speaking facts though.
Yeah.
And that's why I led off
with
with
the people around me.
And that's why I led off with morals and values and arguing and squabbling. Like, I don't know what I said wrong to make your homeboy call me a jigaboo, but you know, words don't hurt me. You know, I'm a gym.
Hey, he was waiting.
It's already gone.
It's
already gone. It's already gone. I'm an adult. You see, I come from the generation sticks and stones may hurt my bone, but words will never hurt me, brother. Because my opinion was my opinion, but can't nobody tell me anything I said wrong.
Nope.
Now, a hit dog will holler. A hit dog will holler. I don't care what country you from. A hit dog will holler.
No,
how you stated it was your opinion. That's how it came out. Point blank.
Let me say this. I want to say that I'm big in the African mindset with American, right? But how many ethnic groups are in this country today?
A lot.
How many what?
How many ethnic groups in this country today? A lot.
All of them, probably.
And we all deal with the same similar issue, but how come they able to get on that ground, be consistent and build a stronger community than we have right now? We'll talk through the 80s to the early 2000s. A lot of African immigrants came here without their parents. They left their parents left them behind. No, correction. They left their parents behind. Came here, get education, bust their ass, be on their grind, trying to fight for the parents to come over here. And they didn't have the support system, unlike many others have. And it made something great out of themselves. So when I watch these people do what they did without no mother and father holding them down, I started asking myself, am I allowed to make excuses for myself?
But they had that foundation, though. They had that foundation before they got over here from their parents.
I give you that. I give you that.
Very much so.
I'm glad
so we never had foundation. Black America's never had any type of foundation spiritually.
We have. I agree with you.
Or family.
I agree with you, B Magic. We definitely did. That's why the question.
Our foundation was a lot stronger than a lot of other.
I totally agree. I agree with everything you're saying. I'm just saying the ball dropped somewhere.
I think that's something that has gotten lost, and I got to get final thoughts after this because I got to get ready for a meeting I'm holding. We've let women, and especially women and some dudes, pretend as if everything from slavery affected Black people till this day, but not forgetting that the world's example of what people other than whites could do in this country was Black American people. So when you were looking at an example of somebody who went through something that the world knows about, that type of adversity, and made it to the point where you kept your family together, you built viable business, you built functional groups, societies, while going through actual Jim Crow, while going through actual racism, and all of that. You built functional city centers on your own in Lake Lanier and Black Wall Street. You did all of that stuff. You had
Universities,
black men in Senate. You had like all this stuff. It was Black American people that did that. So we let them kind of change the narrative. It's like, well, our oppression has made us the way we were today. No. The Black community is the example of succeeding despite adversity. They're like almost like the world's example of it, right? So I really, that's why I really don't understand like some of the division between it, because one of the things I want people to know, especially about Nigerians and Africans coming here, is that my parents' favorite show coming over here was the Cosbys. I think a lot of African people look at these people and what they can achieve in this goddamn country. I want to go there too. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead, Imagine.
But my question is, I got a question. Hold on a minute. Hold on. Who the hell had a smoke detector going off in the goddamn background? Who has full of men with a smoke detector going off?
Well,
what happened to goddamn man?
I'm in a damn truck, so it ain't.
Yeah, some of these ceilings are high as hell. It better not be me either.
No, it's not. Who's final thoughts? Are we going around, Mike, or what?
Yeah, final thoughts. Go ahead.
Let me go real quick. Listen, blatant racism didn't stop us from slavery to Jim Crow to all that shit. What happened in the 70s with the Moynihan Report, they got more stealthy. The puppet masters purposely broke the family. They did it two ways. They made the women go one way. They made the men go one way. The problem with the men was that we were weak. A lot of men back then got weak. They got on drugs. They started selling drugs to their own families. There's no excuse for that. So that's what happened. And so we were under the puppet masters. And so what's seen as some of that today? At the same time was the advent of the pill. Everybody keeps trying to fucking minimize the fact that women could have sex with impunity once the pill came out. And that impacted them. Then feminism had a lot to do with the way people think. Then Black women took feminism to an extreme level, and that's what we're living with today. That's why bitches like this queen maker couldn't exist. So all I'm just trying to say is men just recently had this avenue to talk back. We were frozen out of all TV shows for like 20, 30 years until this manosphere, quote unquote manosphere, because nobody wants to belong to this shit, even though everybody's Black on here, right? Gave us a voice. So now the voice is starting to move men in the right direction. And half of us are trying to kill that shit, even though it's the best thing that's happened for us, right? And I'm gonna end it here real quick. Y'all should have saw how I went out on Fight Club last night. I went out like a champ. I went out to kick my ass off. I begged to get kicked off.
You went out guns blazing, didn't you?
Somebody put the money up, right? I said, thank you for putting my fucking ass out of misery and shit. And then I was going, man. And it was crazy because the guys on the panel refused to believe that the pie expands for all of us to get bigger pieces. It's not a finite pie. That's why the Trigger Mike show can grow. That's why this other guy's show can grow. And so it's not a finite pie. I used the pie analogy. They didn't like it. But when I'm talking about the geometrical pie, every slice gets bigger. That's why it always expands. And instead of fighting over crumbs, let's grow the pie. That's all I meant. And I got my ass reamed for that. So it was fun. Anyhow, man. Hey, Trigger Mike, thanks for letting me on again. Yeah, keep coming back. Are you being here tomorrow or not?
Yeah. Oh no, it might be chaotic on tomorrow. But all right, y'all, I got to get out of here. I got to get ready for this meeting. Y'all making me be irresponsible right now. I got stuff to put on this PowerPoint. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for your support of the Trigger Mike show. Today was a dope show. Thank y'all for participating in the chat. I am out. I will see y'all later. More content on the way. See y'all later.